got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
You're listening to Oregon's premier afternoon sports show. This is The Drive.
And a pleasant good afternoon to all the ships at the
What do you say?
Dude, why is there a blur on me? Look.
Oh, you go to background. I've known blur. I don't know. Maybe it's your computer. You're not using your work computer? Dude, this computer is like on the verge of exploding. I need to turn this up, please. I have to.
You can get right to the top where you can find us on all social media. Right? On IG, you put out some clips.
IG, you put out some clips. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. We've got in memoriam for Steve Mims as well. Goose isn't with us for the next couple of days. He's out partying with the family. We're glad that he gets to have a little rest and relaxation. That's why we got Blaze filling in. Blaze with the Sports Animal Sports Bites at the top of the hour. And we're going, man. The Fire lost last night to Dallas. Paige Beckers was back. You heard that right here on the Sports Animal. And it was crowded at Moda again for the Fire. They are drawing some great crowds. Big hockey news in my world. We're going to do our top. We're going to do top 10 rankings in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, top 10.
Are you ready to do a top 10, buddy boy?
I could definitely try. Let's do it.
What do you mean definitely? There's no try.
Well,
there's no try on the Sports Animal. There's just do.
There is only do, but I'm definitely going to be adding a little bit of bias in here.
Justin, are you ready for this?
Fan.
I mean, you know what? I have the remove button. See, I can do this right here, and then you're not in anymore. I mean, your microphone would still work, but okay. Now we'll keep you in the stall. We'll keep you in the stall. All right. So, again, Baby J, what was your day like today? Because I'm sorry, I was gone for a lot of the day today. I had appointments.
Really
off-site.
productive, actually.
Yeah.
Felt really good about my productivity. I'm not even
Probably because I
sarcastic.
wasn't here.
I just was in start working on some things we're producing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like all the things we need to do, and I felt pretty good about what I was doing today. So
Vegas,
I'm ready to go.
Were you productive today?
I'm always productive. So,
Well, you know, when I have to deal with 3 people at once, I can't be productive as I want to.
So what? Now, Vegas, you got to lean into the microphone a little bit more. We got to hear your sultry voice. Were you bugging Baby J today? Were you smacking
No,
on
that's
him?
the thing. I wasn't
Nobody
being
was?
bugged. I'll just do my thing.
yeah, I mean, I would never say I'm actually bugging him, to be honest. But you know, I'm always having fun with Justin.
I have to separate you
is.
two at times. You know
I'm
that.
being rage baited all the time. My favorite Gen Z.
Okay. We're going to talk Tyreek Hill as well today. Is that what I'm reading on the rundown? We're gonna
Yeah,
talk-
it was your.
Is Tyreek Hill kind of playing possum a bit sometime in the next 3 hours. So, believe me, I think this will be the first day that we're not going to have any kind of technical snafus. And honestly,
excellent.
folks, the technical snafus have been minor, more major for me because I am when it comes to this kind of stuff, I am a
Getting musical.
perfectionist. Huh?
Majors and minors. Maybe that's education. I don't know.
Is it a musical?
The terms major and minor.
Oh, okay. I'm in a good mood. Listen.
And it was basically the first thing you said to me.
Yes.
It shone through everything.
And it shocked me. I am a
You really?
long time. Yes, because I thought he was. Listen, he's only got a couple of years left, and he's not going to be the player that he was when the Blackhawks won those championships. He Buffalo native. I thought he was going to, if he was going to have his swan song, although Chicago's near and dear to his heart, and he is literally an icon in Chicago, that he was going to go back to Buffalo. That's where he would, kind of like do the full circle thing and end up back in Buffalo for the last couple of years. Sabres could use him. He's going to be a bit player. He's not going to be the center. Yeah, he's not going to be the center of attention.
So not winning championships in the case of Damian Lillard, of course, but for the Blackhawks, he won 3?
Yeah.
It was 3 championships for the Blackhawks?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, it's kind of
No.
Because
No,
he's
but
older, right?
listen, I think that's a hard question for me to answer because we don't know what Dame's going to be when he comes back. I mean, when you at his age, you tear an Achilles, and that's what happened. That's a funky thing. I mean, I think if Damian Lillard trusts that he's recovered, if he believes that he can do everything that he did before, then I think he'll be fine. But if there's hesitation, he's going to be a different player.
Well, I think he's going to be a different player regardless, honestly.
Well, age has taken its toll a little bit.
And I think that the fact that he isn't going to be able to have the ball in his hands all the time based on the amount of guards and or players like Denny Avdia, who is a ball handler as well. So between all the guys that need to have the ball in their hands, I think that he is going to have to change his game up a little bit. But I think there is a chance that he can do that. He seems to be one of those athletes that the best athletes can adjust their game as they get older. Like every single athlete in the world ever that's successful has adjusted their game. So he's going to have to do it too.
Vegas, what do you think about that? Do you think Damian Lillard's going to be? I mean, we switched quickly from Patrick Kane, but
Right.
we're
Sorry
going to
about
talk
that.
more. No,
I'm dampering your Patrick
no,
Kane
no. We
glory.
believe me. I will have an entire segment where I get to talk about Patrick Kane at the bottom of the hour after we have Tyson Alger at about quarter after the hour. But the question is still out there for you, Vegas.
Right. I mean, I've always been a huge believer in the fact that Damian Lillard can make this work. I mean, I think I've heard that he wanted that another point guard to kind of play right beneath him so he can not necessarily focus on playing against the ball and kind of focus on rehabbing and focusing on healing his injury. I think he'd be a great shooting guard. I think he's a great player that can play off the ball ultimately. With how well that these two can play together. And ultimately, Damian Lillard, I mean, he's a terrific shooter. We saw those highlights during the Blazers playoff run. And ultimately, I think they can make this duo actually work. And I think a lot of people believe the contrary. But I think it can work.
What do you think about the dynamic of if Damian Lillard is there, it's Damian Lillard's team, right? Off the court.
It's
Off the
Damian
court.
Lillard's team. No,
But I'm saying when he gets back injuries, but Denny
got it.
Avdia was
I got
the guy
it.
with the ball. I'm just interested to see how that dynamic works.
So this isn't Luka Doncic, a LeBron James situation. This is Damian Lillard's team. Yes. So Denny Avdia is going to be one of the clutch guys, but I guess the point that you were making, Blaze, that I agree with is that I think Damian Lillard in the twilight of his career is okay giving up the ball sometimes and not having. But I'll tell you what, when there's 3 seconds clock, I'll just ask you guys because I know what my answer is.
Yeah.
If there's 3 seconds on the clock, I want Dame to have that.
Big thing is, scheming, the game situations. If there's 10 seconds on the clock, do they want to get Denny Avdia going downhill for a bucket?
Right.
Versus there's being, like you said, 3 seconds on the clock. Yeah, I'm definitely going to want Damian Lillard to shoot that final shot because it might have to be a quicker one that you can't get a layup. You have to shoot a 3. So, I mean, it all comes down to scheming, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, like you said, Danny, I think it is Damian Lillard's team. I don't think I don't know for sure, obviously, but I have a feeling the players aren't in conflict with that. And I think Denny Avdia is kind of okay with willing to accept that Damian Lillard is a certifiable leader, but he's also one of those guys that's in that range.
But how many years has Dame got left? Maybe 2?
I don't know.
Too
It depends.
strong?
The way he plays, I think
I
he
don't
has
know.
plenty. To be
I
honest.
think that we
Another
look
5
at,
years of
You're-
Dame?
6 or 7.
No.
Look it up.
He's a little
Somebody look it
younger?
up. That's we got
Oh.
computers for, guys.
Yeah,
We're not supposed to
yeah.
memorize this.
Yeah.
That's why we have
Okay,
computers.
so my point is, I think we can look at a player that
Oh, wow.
who's the most similar player to him, in my opinion. It's Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry is a shooter. He's somebody that he's known for his range. He's moving. And see how Steph has aged gracefully, and he's, I think, 38 years old. So is Lillard 35?
36. Yeah.
36?
You hit it. You
So,
were right around that area.
I think that you can look at what Steph Curry's doing and say, okay, like I think if he's able to physically do it, then I don't see why he can't be that type of player at 38.
I think he has 3 more good serviceable years. I think I could see him playing for 4 more, though.
Yeah, but I mean, again, in a diminished capacity,
Right.
get 15 minutes a game, get it, and
I think he's going to get more than 15 minutes a game.
no,
Look at Steph Curry.
I'm saying in 2 or 3 years, it's going to be going down to 15 minutes a game.
Maybe. Steph Curry's 38. He's playing 30-something minutes a
Steph
game.
Curry's also never torn his Achilles.
Yeah,
so.
I'm glad you brought that up,
True.
Blaze, because it's the same
I
thing.
don't
It's
know, though.
again,
We saw Kevin Durant. He's tore his Achilles, and he's come back, and he's playing more minutes than ever, I'm pretty sure. He's
Okay.
healthier than ever, I'm pretty
by
sure.
necessity sometimes as well, though.
Right.
Okay,
But
that's the whole thing
Blazers
with.
won't have to deal with that.
That's
the
what I'm-
Blazers will have the ability to manage that.
But that's what I'm saying. So Damian's not going to have to give you 30 minutes a
Right.
game because of the roster that they have, and especially if they stay as guard rich as they are, he's not going to have to do that. I don't think so either. I think they're going to dump at least 1, maybe 2
They
out
have
of the
to.
4 that we talked about.
They
Right?
have to.
Scoot, Shaden, Drew, Ja, and Damian. There's 5 right there.
I know. It's just there's too many.
There's 2 that
Yeah.
are going to go,
I think
guys.
I
No,
think
there are. There's
no,
2.
they're not going to do that, but I don't believe them. I think a lot of it with Dame specifically comes down to mentality. And I think that I trust him to be that guy that's like, okay, what do I have to do? I want to stay at my peak with Giannis. I think that was just a kind of situation that it was just kind of a little
Yeah, it
unlucky,
was-
obviously.
That was one good.
But I think that goes to show that he is willing to change his game. So I do think that he is going to be good still.
I also think it doesn't make much sense to keep either, but I think that you need to keep one of those young guys around, but I don't think it makes any sense to keep both of them. The way they're building the team, the way they're building it at least is they're trying to contend for a championship, and keeping both of those guys, it doesn't make any sense because at the one time you're not playing that one of them as much or both of them, and on the other hand, you're also losing trade value by the time you don't trade them. So each year you don't trade them, you're just losing complete value on that. And I think the Blazers need to capitalize on it and trade at least one of those guys. I think they should trade Shaden. I think he's the less valuable option after seeing Scoot's performance. And
Well,
yeah.
but Shane was bouncing in our lineup because of injury, and then
Right.
there was some head case stuff that was going on there that I think the coaching staff kind of corrected. I wouldn't be surprised to see if Tiago Splitter goes after one of those guys and tells his GM for the Bulls to say, "Hey, I know these guys intimately. This is the guy I want," and I think it would be Shaden as well. To my not looking at the stats or anything else like that, I said productivity. I think again Vegas made a good point there. I think there's probably more upside long term with Shaden.
Between Shaden and Scoot.
Yeah.
right? I don't think we've actually said Scoot's name, but
We did.
important to say. Yeah, but
Okay, we didn't actually say it, but
right. I think
okay.
that's who we're inferring it as. I think that from the Chicago angle, because you have to think about these from both sides. I do think that's probably, actually, there's probably some truth to that in terms of the needs of the Bulls. I don't know if they're going to commit to Josh Giddey. That's somebody that wasn't
Right.
the new GM's guy. Like, he didn't bring him in there. So if you did want to bring somebody in, I think I could see Scoot fitting, actually. And if you just got rid of Josh Giddey, then Scoot's a longer guy. The Bulls are all about his thing is size, length, athleticism, and physicality. I could see Scoot fitting that mold. Shaden, I think, as well would fit because they need some shooting on that team. So I think that would be maybe a perfect fit.
But what do you want in return for one of those guys?
That's the thing. I don't know. You'd want.
I don't think you don't need picks.
Like,
You know,
I think the Blazers would ask for Modest Buzelis, but I don't think the Bulls want to do that.
well, you need a 4 or a 5.
Exactly. Modest would be able to be a 4 or 5.
You have to get a 4 or a 5, preferably a 5,
You're
because
not going to
Donovan.
get Caleb Wilson. Like, I think everybody else on that team besides those 2 players, though, maybe would be untouchable. Or, sorry, would be available.
Okay. So, again, this is The Drive on the Sports Animal, Eugene. Also on the coast, Fox Sports Newport. It's Danny, it's Justin, it's Blaze. Dom's there technically producing the program. And we're not yelling at Dom today, okay? None of us. I will be the first one. Nobody yells at Dom today. Everyone's going to be calm. So, you know, Blaze, you can yell at Dom because he's sitting right next to you if you want to. But you do it off microphone, please. But thanks for tuning in. The Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-343-5673. We got that corrected today, so if you want to call in, please call. And when we come back, we will get Tyson Alger on the old Teleo phone, and we will talk. I mean, we can talk World Cup with Tyson, right? Because he was all over it. Let's talk a little Timbers because the Timbers have a new manager, and I think that's important. And this guy, wildly different than Phil Neville, wildly different. So let's discuss that with our friend from the I-5 corridor and Lookout Eugene Springfield, Tyson Alger, next on The Drive.
(10:50 a.m. and 102.9 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios, you're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
The Kendall 4th of July sales event is on now at Kendall Ford. Get the most out of those summer plans with new discounts that add up to thousands in savings on your new Ford. Take your adventures off-road and take advantage of over $10,000 in discounts off an SRP on a new 2025 Ford Bronco Badlands 4x4. Step up to a new F-Series truck and get over $15,000 in discounts off an SRP on all new 2025 and 2026 F-150s and Super Duties. Or take advantage of new summer savings on select new Fords with 0% APR, no payments for 90 days, and a complimentary 2-year 25,000-mile premium maintenance plan. Get in on the 4th of July savings and stop by Kendall Ford today. Kendall. Let's start something great.
VIN number 1FSOB80039 and 1FSFC71754. See dealer for qualifications, a complete list of eligible vehicles, coverage details, and limitations. All factory rebates subject to change, all financing on a credit prices, not include title registration and tax, subject to prior sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 8/31/26.
All bets are on at the Three Rivers Casino Resort Sportsbook in Florence. Bet 24/7 kiosks or download the brand new Sportsbook app today and get $10 in free bets. Place wagers right from your mobile device while you relax in your room. Hit the casino floor or grab a bite. Then catch the action on Oregon's largest sports betting screen. Visit threeriverscasino.com. The Sportsbook at Three Rivers Casino Resort. Winning starts here.
At Larwick Injury Law, our team is built to fight for you. I'm Derek Larwick, a former firefighter, and my colleague Keith Reed is a former soldier. We didn't become lawyers to push paperwork. We stand up for people when they need it the most. After an injury, insurance companies prepare their defense. We prepare for trial. That's how we help our clients get the best settlements possible. If you've been injured, call 541-0-LAWYER or visit larwicklaw.com. Larwick Injury Law, your best case scenario.
It kind of sneaks up on you. You're more tired than you should be, a little less focused, a little less motivated. Maybe you've gained a little weight. It's normal. A lot of men experience it, but that doesn't mean you have to live with it. At Hale Men's Clinic, personalized testosterone therapy can help you restore your energy, your clarity, your edge. Real solutions, real results. Hale Men's Clinic. Feel good now. Curious about your levels? Walk into Hale Men's Clinic in Eugene, Bend, or Roseburg for your free testosterone test today. More info at halemensclinic.com.
Even though the weather is getting warmer, many people in our community are still vulnerable and need your help. Raven, Radical Assistance for Vulnerable Eugene Neighbors, is seeking donations to help those who need it most. Raven is asking for help with water bottles, raincoats, socks, shoes, blankets, tarps, and camping gear, or even a direct cash donation. Donations can be made at Raven distribution sites or via GoFundMe. For more information, visit our website, raveneugene.org. That's RAVEN, Eugene.org.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
All right, kids, back on the old radio program. It's The Drive on Fox Sports Eugene, also in Newport on... Did I just say Fox Sports Eugene? I said the Sports Animal. Fox Sports Newport. It's the Sports Animal in Eugene. Rebranded the station, and you're locked into The Drive till 6 p.m. You can connect with us on all the socials at Sports Animal EUG. The new website is up. It's at socials as well. And then you can join us live in the studio on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter. And that's where you can see our pretty faces. And as you see the mug of Tyson Aldrich come up on our screen from Lookout Eugene Springfield, I-5 corridor. He joins us on the Oregon Man Colleagues hotline at 343-5673. Tyson, welcome to the new show.
I'm honored, guys. I feel sorry that your audience has to see.
The fences here, and we call him the commish here on the Drive, as you were all over the World Cup. The last time we had you on, I think it was you were bouncing back and forth between Seattle and Vancouver, the beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. And I think where I want to start is what did you take away when you got to sit and reflect? What did you take away from the World Cup that maybe surprised you?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think when I first got the World Cup, and a lot of kind of my anticipation for it was going to be like how different everything was, right? You know, this is a sport that's not popular here compared to the rest of the world. This is a sport that I don't cover, and I just thought it was going to be this massive kind of fish out of water experience. And like, I definitely got that in doses, but I think after covering, you know, I ended up doing 4 or 5 matches throughout the tournament, and I think the thing that I came away with more than anything was just like how similar sports fans are across the world. And it really kind of especially reminded me of college football fandom in a way. You know, I know professional sports, like there's crazy fans, there's rabid fans, but like just the way the kind of the pride and the representation, and I mean, frankly, just like the tailgating that happened before every single one of these games, and the camaraderie, it just felt unique in a way. Like I hadn't seen, you know, I haven't really been in a bar after a game before and had conversations with like the Swiss delegation or the New Zealand delegation or, you know, those sorts of things. But, you know, like afterwards it was just, it's just, you know, everyone, I don't want to get like philosophical.
No, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we want you to. Please.
But at the end of the day, you know, we constantly, you know, have so much of our differences thrown in our faces, and, you know, going to that thing and being around all those fans and all those players and everyone who's so passionate about it, it was just really cool to see something that just kind of like that extends across, you know, all the borders and all of our perceived differences, and it just kind of comes down to people just really like watching their sports, and they really like their teams, and they want them to win, and I think that passion is pretty universal. And most surprising takeaway is that by the end of the tournament, I felt way more in my element, just around kind of like the people and the energy, than I was expecting to at the start.
You got to see it up close and personal. Do you think that as a nation, the United States, both on the field and off, took steps forward during this World Cup?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think that the U.S. has taken large steps forward. I don't know if this World Cup actually highlighted that as much, or did anything for that as much as it just kind of highlighted that. You know, I've been doing MLS for the last 3 or 4 seasons, and you like in that time I've seen like the league get better. You see better players coming in. There's some dude named Messi who plays for Miami.
Heard of him.
I don't know. You might have seen him during the tournament. But, so like soccer in the U.S. like hasn't been struggling. It's just been like on a steady increase, and I think us here in America we're just attuned to having things that go to the moon right away.
Yeah.
And that hasn't necessarily happened here, and so I think the U.S.'s performance in the tournament, it was kind of like the perfect storm of like for everything to start, because I think people were pretty down on this team going into this tournament. Like they hadn't played well in their qualifiers and their run-ups, and for them to kind of host the tournament that had a lot of questions around it too, in terms of like how is it going to go in the United States, and to not only like have the tournament go off without really any issues, but to also have like the U.S. play a pretty central role, at least for the first couple weeks. Like I think that was a perfect storm in terms of getting all of us on board, because I'm in the camp that like I don't think Americans are anti-soccer. I think Americans are more anti we're not the best at something. And I think with MLS, it's hard for a lot of us to get into it just because it's the 5th or 6th best league in the world. And so it kind of feels a little bit like a feeder system, if you will. But again, this is where I want to make some of like the college football parallels. NFL football is way better than college football.
Yeah.
Like you can't really make an argument about the skill level and the tactics and all that. But like what makes college football awesome is the environment and the fandom and the traditions and all of that. And MLS is still developing that in a way, but I just think if we're going to see like the big cup bump, like I don't expect stadiums to suddenly be sold out this week and next week and the weeks after. Like I think some of it might travel pretty easy in comparison, but I think what we are going to see happen, though, is there was a lot of really big soccer players who had a blast playing here and kind of saw what I think a lot of us see, and that's the potential of it. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you start getting a few more of those big-name players every couple of years instead of like the once every 5-year trickle where you get like a Messi at the end of his career. Maybe you start getting some other big-name guys a little bit earlier in their careers. And if there's anything Americans like, it's stars. It's guys that you can relate to, guys that like And I think once you get more stars in the league, you're going to start seeing the fans kind of start to follow in tow.
Yeah. Hey, Tyson, this is producer Blaze, the guy you were just talking to on the phone. I was wondering, shifting to the World Cup final this past Sunday, there was a lot of controversy with the way Spain plays and how they kind of eat up the whole possessions, or all of the possessions, really. I mean, I know they were like third, 65% with managing possessions. And I want to know what your opinions are on if they're an enjoyable team to watch. Because I personally, I know I loved watching that, just the dominance against Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. There's different styles, and it might not have been like the sexiest match, especially coming off of that third place game, which what was that, 6-4?
6-4, right? Yeah.
I love that because all of us were talking in the week up to it, like they play a third, fourth place game. Why would they do that? And then you also have to remember we're also the fan base that loves the the Cheez-It Bowl or the Pop-Tart Bowl. Sometimes those exhibitions actually are pretty fun, and so like that was an awesome game, and then I felt like the Spain-Argentina was like a late 2000s Alabama versus LSU 6-3 slugfest. And, I don't know if I'm developed enough yet of a soccer fan to find like necessarily like the true beauty in that, but I'm developed enough as a sports fan to go, I don't really care if that's what wins it for you. And so like I'm not going to sit here and criticize the way Spain plays because they allowed, I think, 1 goal the entire World Cup. Like that's not bad production. I think I don't think anybody celebrating in this like but it wasn't a pretty style that was I think it worked for them.
I think Blaze and Danny know exactly what question I'm about to ask next.
Oh yeah, here it comes. It was our poll question this Monday. So here comes Tyson Alger to
your opinion
let us know.
We need your opinion on this, Tyson. Okay, Lionel Messi. We saw how good he was in this World Cup. I think he led he didn't lead the tournament, but he had 8 goals, I believe. Do you think that he could play in the English Premier League right now? Not even just star in it. Do you think he could play in the league?
Could he play in the league?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could absolutely play in the league. Could he be a full-time 90 minutes every game, lead the league in categories like he was before. I don't think so. I think this is kind of like a late stage LeBron where he's like evolved into a different player. Yeah, LeBron doesn't play defense, but like the way, if you were to compare him to like Ronaldo, like Ronaldo's game was quite as much. I think where Messi's effective is the way he's able to incorporate his team and his understanding of the game and his anticipation. And so I think on any top-level team in the country right now, in the world right now, they could probably find a place for him. Whether, again, he's starting, on a roster with a bunch of 20 and run the entire time, that might be a different conversation. But like, if you want to talk about like a guy you can throw in like the 80th minute when you need a goal, like I think he can still run in any circle in this world.
Tyson also joining us, so you can follow him on the old Twitterverse at Lookout Eugene Springfield, Lookout_ES. Also, his personal handle is Tyson Alger, ALGER. I-5 Quarter is a wonderful listen as well, as he does that podcast. And for more than a decade, he's been covering the Ducks, and he focuses on that storytelling that we love so much. Tyson, let's switch it quickly closer to home. And I know I'm going to probably murder his name. Is it Martí Cifuentes? Did I get it close?
Ding, ding, ding. Close enough.
All right, that's all right. I like the ding, ding, ding. Fifth head coach of the Timbers after the Phil Neville experiment kind of blew up. So what does this mean for Portland? They coming out of their 5-8-2 now, 17 points, 11th in the Western Conference. They did beat Seattle 5-1 on Thursday, and you have a nice article up at Oregon Live right now talking about it. So what does this mean? Is this going to re-energize the Timbers?
Yeah, I think so in a way. Like the last 3-4 months, I mean, you could even maybe go back the last year under Phil Neville. It just kind of felt like there was a cloud hanging over, not because people didn't like Neville or Neville was a bad personality, but frankly, his soccer teams just weren't well managed. And there was kind of this will they, won't they cloud that hung over for quite some time. And I think kind of like finally making that decision in late May and deciding to go separate ways, like I think that's just kind of a little bit of the energy that a team might need to find some momentum here in the second half. Now, all that being said, the Timbers were really bad in the first half, and they have quite the hole to dig out of. And I don't think that this move and bringing in Cifuentes is a move that was made with this year in mind. This is a fascinating time for MLS coming up in the next couple of years, because they played this season, and then beginning next year, they have this little sprint season that's going to be just a couple of months. It's going to end in like May, and that's going to count as a full season, but they're getting it out of the way so they can then shift their schedule to the European calendar, which means their next season would be starting, I believe, around late July, August of next year. So it's this kind of transformative time for the league, and you're going to have 3 seasons that are going underway in the span of one calendar year. And so I think so much of this was made with kind of like that future in mind, and like how can you install a coach before all of this kind of chaos happens. And so whether he can in and take this roster and lead them into the playoffs or a more contending seed, like I wouldn't be shocked by it, just because I still think that this is a relatively talented roster. But this is a coach that's coming in with Neville's kind of acumen was a lot predicated on things such as like heart and mentality and playing harder, whereas this is a coach who's coming in with like systems and like preparedness and kind of answers to things that are thrown at them. And like I think that's all super important. I also don't know how quickly that can kind of be adopted by a whole team in the middle of the season. So I expect the Timbers to be better here in the second half than they were in the first, but that's also just because they were pretty darn bad in the first half of the season. But I think ultimately we're going to have to start like making our assessments on this coaching hiring, beginning with what happens next year.
Okay, so Tyson, last question. Do the Timbers have what they need to be successful in the MLS if they have the right coach? Or are they a player or 2 or 3 or 4 away?
I think they're like 85% of the way there. This is a far more deep roster than it's been in any of the last 3 years. Like they have a good mixture of young guys who have started to prove themselves. like they have all of that, but like the one thing that the Timbers are lacking is something that you've seen across this league and even at the highest. They have a couple guys who are decent, right? Christopher Velda, he's fun to watch, but when it comes down to it, one of the things that Phil Neville talks about all the time is still true. Like, this is a league where the designated players kind of decide like what happens, and the Timbers have a bunch of really good depth players, but they don't have one guy that they can really rely on to like put the team on their shoulders and score a goal when they need it. And so, you know, if I'm Portland, I'm still kind of looking to see if there's any options out there to just get one of those guys, because the Timbers just haven't had any real good production from a designated player since Evander, and that was 2 years ago at this point. So I think that's kind of the biggest on-field piece for them.
Tyson, we really enjoy reading what you write, and your content on the I-5 corridor is just stellar. Lookout Eugene Springfield is where you can find Tyson, the I-5 corridor as well, the Oregonian. He's all over the place. There's no reason not to consume what Tyson is putting out there. Tyson, you're a good friend of me. Have a good rest of your day, buddy.
Hey, thanks, guys, and congrats on the launch this week.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah, there he goes, the great Tyson Alger from Lookout Eugene Springfield. And you know what? Next time we get him on, we'll talk Ducks. And that's just, we have to talk Ducks next time. But there was, we have to do the beautiful game first.
We have some time.
I know.
And we have to talk about the beautiful game while it's still this week.
So we've given ourselves until tomorrow, and then we're really not going to talk about the World Cup.
You have
dictated that. I've just made that decision. I actually just told everyone that's what we're going to do. All right. So when we return, I get to talk about Patrick Kane. Oh my God! I've got such a man crush on Patrick Kane. And here we go on the drive, the sports animal in Eugene and Fox Sports Newport in Newport.
Times the
You can't handle the truth.
but no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Summer adventures are waiting, and at Kendall Chevrolet GMC of Eugene, we're here to help get you road trip ready with new summer savings. Save $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2026 GMC Sierra 3500 Denali Ultimate Crew Cab 4x4 and get 4.9% APR. Lease a new 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT 4x4 at just $394 per month for 36 months with $2,999 cash or trade equity due at signing. Additional $2,500 in discounts available for current Chevrolet lessees. Stop by Kendall Chevrolet GMC of Eugene and save today. Kendall, let's start something great.
Bid number TF246 and TZ419699. $0 security deposit. Is done 10,000 miles per year. So lease posting at Kendall Chevrolet GMC or call 877-371-8620 for complete lease details. All financing and approved credit. Price does not include title registration or tax. Subject to prior sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 7/31/26.
Yeah. Can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Enjoy cool savings on Mountain Dew fountain drinks all summer long. Any size for just $1.50 at participating convenience stores.
Running a business means taking care of everyone else. Employees, customers, and your community. But who's looking out for your future? Your Eugene area Edward Jones advisors understand what's important to you, from your business goals to your family's needs, and help you create a strategy that keeps your financial life organized and on track. Your Eugene area Edward Jones advisors. Let's start the conversation. To locate the Edward Jones financial advisor nearest you, visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Where do friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
Patrick Kane is back where he belongs in Chicago, where he was crowned a Stanley Cup champion in 2010, 2013, and 2015. 11 years later, after that last Stanley Cup, he's back home in Chicago. Hi there, everyone. This is The Drive. I'm Doc. Right over there's Baby J. In the studio to our left is Vegas, producing, engineering, and also co-hosting the program. Dom is in there as well, doing the old video thing. So Patrick Kane comes back home, a 2-year deal for the Blackhawks. This is big news for Chicago. The phenom, Connor Bedard, who they drafted 2 years ago as just a baby, and he got hurt a little bit. He got smacked around a little bit, but they want to build around. And Patrick Kane is a legendary Chicago Blackhawk. And when he left, it was heartbreaking for Chicago fans.
To the Red Wings, right?
He actually went to the Rangers first, and then he had a very short, at the trade deadline, the Blackhawks knew they... Well, so here's the thing. The Blackhawks knew they were not going to be able to re-sign Patrick Kane. His deal was expiring. So it's one of those things where it was going to be, they knew they weren't going to pay what Patrick Kane was going to want. So it's one of those things where, okay, we know we're not going to have you anymore, so let's go ahead and dump you and get something for you, besides nothing. So it was a very, very short tenure with the Rangers. And in fact, the Blackhawks didn't get a lot for Patrick Kane. He was coming off an injury, and then he went to the Red Wings for he signed a bunch of one-year deals. I think it was one or 2-year one-year deals. And then the Blackhawks, he was free agent again. Blackhawks signed him to a 2-year deal. And what they're saying right now, and this is getting really deep down the rabbit hole. Sorry, I'm kind of dominating the segment right now. Alex DeBrincat, who they nicknamed the Cat, which is a great nickname for him because it's play on his name, could come back to the Blackhawks as well. And if they do that, look out, baby. With that young team, and then you add the Cat and Patrick Kane, who to me is going to be like that guy. He'll play second shift. He'll probably ice time. He'll be around 16 to 18 minutes. He'll skip a second shift once in a while. He's not a guy that's got all the legs anymore, but man, can he still shoot. So that's going to be exciting to watch him again. I have dusted off all of my Blackhawk sweaters, and I am ready to go for the season now.
How much is this going to help Bedard in particular?
Absolutely going to be a guy that it's going to be kind of like Damian Lillard with whoever the young guards are going to be that are going to be staying around, or even a John Morant who needs to be reconditioned. He's going to teach him how to be a vet. He's going to teach him how to be a teammate. And there was never any complaints about Patrick Kane on the ice. There was always the issue, and he had some issues off the ice. I'm not going to dismiss those. He had some pretty serious allegations against him, and he paid some price for that, especially in the market, the money market. So I think he's going to be a perfect example of what to do on the ice and be a teammate. So I think it's perfect for a kid like Bedard, who I think is only 21 now. I think he was 19 when he got drafted.
Right.
It's crazy.
What about the positional stuff? Like, I don't know hockey as well. So is he positionally close enough to Bedard, or is he going to be somebody that?
No, he's like
the same position.
Yeah, he would be like what if you would. Since we're talking about World Cup and the beautiful game, he would be like a striker.
Okay.
He's the guy.
What's Bedard? I don't know what Bedard is.
Bedard's center forward.
Okay,
so I mean,
he's like the midfielder.
Right.
Okay.
He's going to. That's the guy who you want.
He works with him basically,
right. And he would work on a different line, or they might put him on the same line. I don't know. He might play a wing. I mean, that's the whole thing with Kane is he can play a wing just as well. But now it would be like putting. I don't know how we equate this. It would be like putting 2 all-star running backs in the backfield.
Right.
It's like, who are you going to cover now?
Sure.
Defensively, who are you going to try and watch? That was the glory of Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane when they were together on the same lines for Chicago, because they're like, you can't contain both of them. So then when somebody would double up on Taves, then Kane was going to be open, and he would just snipe it to the net.
This is like you talking about when I'm talking about the 2016 Cubs. Just that little.
Did you hear how light I'm talking right now? Like I am into this.
You are
It's like
just so happy. This is like
patter my heart.
This is like a family friend has just come back. And
Oh my
You haven't
God.
seen him in a long time, and
But Justin,
maybe it wasn't the best when he was gone, but all of a sudden he's back, and it doesn't matter.
Who's your favorite player of all time? I don't care what sport. Who's your favorite
Javier
player?
Baez.
Okay. What would it be like for you if Javi Baez came back to the Cubs?
It'd be incredible.
That's the
No,
way I
I'd
feel
be-
about Patrick
I'd be so
Kane.
happy.
Right. You would be like over the moon. There would be a skip in your step. You'd
Right.
be like floating down the hallway if Javi came back to Chicago. That's what it is.
Wouldn't
like for him.
matter like what level of
condition
play it
he is in.
Well, and this happened a little bit with Jake Arrieta. Jake Arrieta left for a few years,
Yeah.
and then he came back, and it wasn't so good when he came back. But no, it's fun. I mean, these reunions are always fun. I'm trying to think of some other really, really good ones.
But I mean, anybody.
Dame's a really good example.
I think Dame's a perfect example of that, and how the city of Portland was just like, "Are you kidding?" I mean, when you heard that Dame was coming back to Portland, you went out of your mind.
Well, it was out of nowhere. That was the thing, that there was no inkling that was going to be something that was even a possibility of happening, and then all of a sudden, okay, here's some other ones. LeBron back to Cleveland. I'm sure for Cleveland fans that was a full circle because they had the hate, after he left, and so it totally changed.
Blaze, you can jump in here anytime you want, buddy. I don't know. I just sit back and take a nap or whatever. If you got some comment on it, jump on in. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I think everyone loves a good reunion. It's always a nice little feel-good story, and you just want to see a lot of these. I feel like end with the player kind of just not really playing super well, and they come back, and then it's like a year of it, and then everybody kind of just says, "All right, well, that was fun," and then you kind of just move on. So it
Yeah,
felt
you
like
don't want
maybe
the
this'll be-
you don't want the sad goodbye.
No,
you
don't
want the
yeah.
happy, the go out on top goodbye.
Right.
Which is kind of where.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, it was kind of where I can think of some players that, people can argue or whatever. I think Tom Brady probably could have played a couple more years if he wanted to. I mean, he
definitely.
kind of went out on
Have
top.
you seen him? He threw in some, I don't know, they were in like Saudi Arabia or something like that, some celebrity thing, and he threw a ball to the back of the end zone where it was like, okay, he could not take a hit at this point, but he threw it to Justin Jefferson or something like that, where it was like his arm was still like, oh yeah, like this guy's still got it, and that was like this year in the summer. So yeah, he's still got it for sure.
Yeah, you want to see people go out on top, but at the same time, I'm.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You have so many instances in sports of guys not getting the happy ending. Sports are like designed to have you basic little product placement.
Product placement for
Product
Bigfoot Beverages
on our video stream
on the
here.
Bigfoot Beverages studio. That's my Diet Pepsi.
But how many times have you seen it where a guy just has an injury or gets cut or it just doesn't end well? So it's always nice when we get one of these where it's like, all right, like the fan base gets a little something and everybody's just happy that it happened.
Well, so Patrick Kane, there's my thank you for allowing me those 12 minutes of joy that I can spread out to everyone else here on the Sports Animal, The Drive. When we return, now you want to talk about something that can be a little questionable about comebacks and such? Tyreek Hill, the cheetah.
Maybe don't call it a comeback.
I think we need to discuss it because he sent some words out to his fans, and I don't think people like it very much. So we'll talk about Tyreek Hill and the latest on him rehabilitating himself from a gruesome injury when we come back here on the Sports Animal.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the
Mow, dig, haul, lift. The versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor does it all. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series is the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo.
Mid-Valley Tractor in Eugene, locally owned for over 30 years. Find them at midvalleytractor.com.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinic step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Jansen Beach, Clackamas, Beaverton, Salem, and Eugene. Video Only.
Ben Blankenship here. I'm a track and field Olympian, multi-time U.S. champ, and a Eugene Springfield resident. I've launched a new nonprofit to give back to the sport and communities that have given me so much. The Endless Mileage Project is a 501c3 that fosters sustainable environments and programs that inspire the next generation of track and field athletes to break barriers. We started by planting hundreds of trees at Doris Ranch as part of the Fast Forward, which recognizes every American who has broken 4 minutes and 4:30 barriers in the mile. The trees are labeled in person and on our website, endlessmileage.org. Come out and visit your favorite runner's trees. We've also collected and redistributed thousands of pieces of gear to schools and programs across Oregon through recovered running efforts. We'd love to have your support. Please visit endlessmileage.org to learn more about our programs, to donate, and to get involved. Thank you.
Next hour here on The Drive, we'll have our good friend Zachary Neal. Zach's going to join us. Nice. Cadillac Zach for his first venture with us here on the old radio program. And hour number 3, our good friend Chris Burkhardt. Do I have Chris Burkhardt? I don't have Chris Burkhardt in the rundown. Did you forget Chris Burkhardt?
No, he's in the rundown.
Where? You show me on this sheet where Chris Burkhardt is, and I'll give you $10.
Well, he's in the space that I left open.
He's not, is the answer. All right, kids. The Sports Animal, The Drive, thanks for tuning in on YouTube as well. Thanks for all the fans that are tuning in and giving us lots of great love and support. We've been hearing it, and I just been out with some business people today, and the response has been just overwhelming and heartwarming. So thanks. We're going to keep it going. We got a lot to still do for you and with you, and we'll be discussing those in the next couple of weeks. All right, let's talk about the cheetah. Tyreek Hill says he has, you see this, Justin, no power in his recovering left leg. He could still, I mean, what does this mean for him coming back? I mean, he was working out. He put a YouTube video out last night, and he discussed his dislocated knee and multiple ligament tears that he had week 4 against the Jets last year. 10 months, 2 surgeries, the left leg, he's just got no power. He's trying to regain power in his left leg. I mean, what Tyreek Hill had, because he's not a big guy, he had deafening speed. Literally could run away from a locomotive. And if you don't have that, what do you have? What do you have?
You have nothing. And that's the problem with an athlete like Tyreek Hill if he gets to the age where his natural abilities that made him so good aren't there. Excuse me. They aren't there anymore, right? And he's a guy that, like you said, he was known for being an athlete in the NFL would just chuck it down there. It felt like a cheat code, especially with Travis Kelce. You had to pay so much attention to Travis Kelce, and then you have Tyreek Hill, and with the Dolphins, he had that athleticism still. We still saw it, and it was different because he was playing with a guy like Tua, and Tua just couldn't throw the ball down the field like a Patrick Mahomes could, and so he had more short gains where he would have to run after the catch. So I think that it's really concerning, obviously, and I think he's 32, 33 years old, something
32.
like that.
He's 32.
Look at me.
And he was released by the Dolphins 8 time in his 10-year NFL career. And I know that the consumption for the fan base is like, we want updates, we want updates. I don't know if this was the smartest thing in the world for him to come out on a video and just basically say, I got no power in my left leg and I'm still trying to do, and doing stuff on video that he admitted on tape that he, let's run this back, Cheetah. You can't have any power in your left leg. You don't have any power in your left leg, and you're doing stuff doctors told you not to do. So if I'm a GM of any of the 32 NFL teams, you really think, or 31 because he's not going back to Miami, are you really going to go, yeah, I think I want to kill right now? No.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's got to pass a physical. So, I mean, if he can't pass a physical, then what's he going to do? I mean, is he going to go to broadcasting? I don't think so. So we'll keep our eye on that because, I mean, listen, if you have speed, then, that's the way it goes. All right. We do
got the top of the hour break.
Okay, but yeah. If we have the top of the hour break, we certainly do. All right, kid teams. Portland Fire losing. And hour number 3, Chris Burkhardt and the WNBA three-point shooting controversy. We'll talk about all that here on The Drive, the Sports Animal, and Fox Sports Newport.
KORE Springfield, Eugene, 1050 AM. Translated on 275CX 1029 FM. This is the Sports Animal, Eugene. Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal, Eugene.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Jansen Beach, Clackamas, Beaverton, Salem, and Eugene. Video Only.
Sports fans, you know weekends belong to sports. And Fox has more sports than any other broadcast station. From NFL to UFL, MLB to MLS, plus the best in college football and Big Noon Saturday. The best in sports, only on Fox.
Get your news, get your weather and sports, and get to bed. Fox 34 News at 10, Western Oregon's only 10 o'clock news.
Hi, this is Drew from Dalton Carpet on West 11th in Eugene. Dalton Carpet is family owned and operated and proud to serve you for 30 years. Now more than ever, someone you know is walking on a Dalton floor. Do you have a flooring project? Get your summer off to a new start. Lane County's best selection with hundreds of rolls of carpet and thousands of feet of click-together flooring on display and in stock right now at unbeatable prices. Come see us today at Dalton Carpet, right here on West 11th in Eugene.
I've seen it, I've covered it. I'm Alex Rogers, your local farmer's agent in West Eugene.
When you need auto, home, life, or business insurance, Farmers can help you protect everything you've worked so hard to achieve. I really enjoy what I do, and I can help you understand all your coverage options. When I'm your Farmers agent, you're not stuck at the mercy of some computer. I'm your advocate when you need help. Visit my office today at 1154 Garfield Street here in Eugene, or give me a call at 541-284-2804.
Oregon. This is our home. From its wide Pacific shore to its majestic peaks and open desert, this state has it all. But one careless spark could take all of this away. Whether you're at home, at play, or on the job, the power and responsibility of wildfire is in your hands. Please, keep Oregon green.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene. This is a Sports Animal Sports Bite.
I'm Blaze Winston. Starting with the MLB, Detroit Tigers pitcher Tariq Skubal says he wants to finish the season with the Tigers and contend for a World Series title. However, he's quite aware his next start could also be his last with the team. The Detroit has until August 3rd to reach a decision on trading the two-time Cy Young Award winner. NBA contract extension news, Jordan Walsh has agreed to a 3-year, $16 million contract extension with the Boston Celtics. Celtics will pick up Walsh's $2.4 million team option for the 2026-27 season before adding 3 more years onto the deal. They'll run into 2030. The Dallas Wings barely scraped by the Portland Fire in a shootout 101-97. Center Megan Gustafson led Portland with 21 points. This home loss marks the Fire's second straight loss, and they look to bounce back on the road against Las Vegas Aces. Sports Bites every hour, and whenever news breaks, follow us at SportsAnimalEUG.com. I'm Blaze Winston.
Everybody left me alone. That's probably dangerous. It's Doc. Hi there, friends. Sports Animal. This is The Drive. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We're through the stream. Listen live at Sports Animal EUG. That's our website, SportsAnimalEUG.com. And that's all of our socials as well, Sports Animal EUG. You just search that, and you're going to find us. So wherever you are, I'm at TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. It's Twitter to me. Zach Neal coming up in just a few moments. We'll welcome Cadillac into the program for the first time. Justin, Blaze, and I will go through our top Major League Baseball right now as we speak. You just heard from Vegas that the Portland Fire lose to the Dallas Wings last night. We'll discuss that as well in this next hour. And then the 5 o'clock hour, I'm excited about. Chris Burkhart's going to join us for the first time. Chris is a Portland Trailblazer insider, also does a lot of work with the USAA about both of those things. WNBA three-point shooting controversy with Sabrina and Caitlin Clark. What's going on there? And then we'll also wind up the program with talking about our 5 most important players on the Oregon football program this season. And who are they? Right? And if you want to chime in, please do on the Oregon Man Clinics hotline. 541-343-5673. We're going to tie that up here in a second, though, when we bring in Zach Neal from DucksWire. Zach also works for, he's been doing stuff for Sports Illustrated in the past, and he's the beat reporter for the Oregon Ducks, the Believe in Oregon podcast, Ducks Rising podcast. He is a U of O alum, and he'll be joining us in just a few moments. So I do want to give a quick shout out to our friends at Quantum, now AT&T. They've been working hard on our new studios to get all of our internet stuff going up. So next week, folks, the Sports Animal, we are going to have new we're kind of in new studios, but we're not. We're going to have more things coming up. So watch the website as well and watch all the socials, because we're going to have some information for you to be able to help us help you get better, right? Okay, we all try and get better. Hopefully, I don't know if Zach's on the phone yet or not, but if he is, That would be great. If he's not, I'll keep vamping here. So, other things that are going on around the sports world, obviously the World Cup aftermath is, how does and where does the United States go from here in terms of MLS? How do we get what we had in terms of the fervor over the World Cup here in the States into more people in the seats? And I think part of with MLS, and now Fox is the only one, Fox Sports, as a network. And now NBC, the Peacock, they do the Premier League. So in the States, we can watch, and I'm sure some of you out there are consuming it, is you can consume the beautiful game through Peacock with the EPL. But how do we get those eyeballs back on MLS in the States and keep it there? This has happened before. I mean, the last time the U.S. was relevant in soccer, there was a spike in the World Cup. The last time the World Cup was in the States in 1994, there was a bump. And we could keep going back every time we cycle through where the U.S., who have never won a World Cup, by the way, are relevant. There seems to be a level of excitement around the game of soccer. Listen, I mean, you and I was in elementary school and up and through middle school and through junior high. I did all those things, but I never was going to be a professional footballer in that respect. And maybe this guy is, as we head over to the Oregon Man Clegs hotline at 541-343-5673. We welcome in our good friend, the Ducks beat reporter for USA Today's Ducks Wire, co-host of the Believe in Oregon podcast with our good friend Jonathan Stewart. Ducks Rising podcast. He is a proud U of O alum and proud daddy of two and husband and faithful father. It's Zachary Neal Jonas. We call him Cadillac. Zach, how are you, buddy?
That was too long of a list. I'm not deserving. I think you know this by now.
Now, you're like me, self-deprecating. You got to learn how to take praise, buddy. That's a lot of hats you wear. You do it all very well. You always have the right amount of energy. You come onto this program. And by the way, welcome to the new Sports Animal and The Drive, our new 3 to 6 program.
Yes, first of all, congratulations to you guys. The list is much longer for you now. Happy for you, proud of you all, excited for the next chapter to this show, and happy to be a small part of it.
Well, you are a very big part of it for us, and especially as we get into football season, it's always a lot more fun to talk about the games that were, the games that are going to be, and we'll have you as a regular contributor to that, as you have been in the past with the previous show. So, Zach, did you play soccer when you were smaller?
I honestly don't remember playing. I've seen pictures of me playing, but I was so young that it's not in my current memory bank. So yeah, I'm sure I did. I'm sure I wasn't very good. I absolutely did not have a future as a footballer, as you put it. So no, we can move on to a more interesting topic for sure.
All right, well, let's move on to those interesting topics. So we had George Reister on yesterday, and when we talked to Ryan Clark from the Oregonian earlier this week as well, I'd like to pose the question starting out like this, because I know, your ear and your mind are close to the Oregon football program. Where is the biggest improvement Oregon needs to make from last season to this season to finally get to that national championship game?
Oh, man. Okay. I think you need to be better at the linebacker spot. I think they were solid last year. I think they just, the defense as a whole is so good.
Mm-hmm.
But if that linebacker spot can take a step forward, I think that defense can, your offense is great, but the defense can almost carry you to a championship if that linebacker spot gets to even a B+ or an A-. In order to win a national championship, I'm looking at the offensive line. They have so many questions this year, and not because they're bad, they're just unproven. I think they have a ton of talent there, but when you have arguably the best quarterback in the nation, arguably the best wide receiver core in the nation, two of the best young running backs in the nation, all that doesn't mean a thing if you have a line that can't give the quarterback time or open up holes. So if this team wants to win a championship, I think it's going to be on the offensive line to step up and be as good as we think they can.
Follow Cadillac Zachary C. Neal. That's Neel on the old Twitterverse, and he joins us here on the Oregon Man Clinics hotline. It's the Drive 4 o'clock hour. Coming up next hour, our good friend Chris Burkhart's going to join us here on the Sports Animal. So it's interesting. You started with the defensive side of the football, and then to get over the mountaintop, to scale the mountaintop, you went right back to offense. So I mean, I guess the question is when do we find out how those things are addressed? Where is this big test for Oregon in this season? Is it the first game? Because it's always Oregon against Oregon.
Well, the first game I'm going to leave where it's like, okay, this team has what it takes to make a deep run in the playoffs is going to be week 4 against USC.
Okay.
I think we will get a good sense of how good this team can be in week 1 and week 2 against Boise State and Oklahoma State. Those teams, yes, Oregon is better than them. They will be favored by 20-plus points against both of them, but they're not nobodies. They're not Portland State or Montana State, all due respect.
It'll be the first big test on the road as well for the Ducks, because that game is in Memorial Coliseum down in Southern California. You don't get USC in the friendly confines of Austin this year if you're a Duck fan. And actually a couple of big games on the horizon, because you got to look towards the beginning of November as well, when Ohio State, and they're going to be hanging around waiting and salivating for the Ducks to come in, and that could be another potential game day site late in the season, Zach. So as you peel away, and can I move to the defensive side of the football real quick? You mentioned the linebacker position. Obviously, Bryce Betcher was the key in a lot of ways, emotionally and physically, for the middle of that defense. So where do you think the Ducks have that nugget, have that answer from the depth chart and the things that you've seen out of the Ducks in the middle of that defense?
I think we can expect Jerry Mixon to once again be a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any qualms about that. The key player to me is Devin Jackson, and we've been saying that. I've been covering this team for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
He did. So, I mean, it's rare that you have a guy who's 235, 240 pounds that everyone says is the fastest player on the team. We haven't seen that translate into any sort of not into much production so far. I know he dealt with a lot of injuries last year. That was part of the reason why. If he can step up and be a plus player on this defense and just even be a B plus next to Jerry Mixon, they've got the talent in that room to be really good. I think they develop players really well, like you said, with Bryce Betcher. It's just going to be about health and just finally being able to prove it for Devin Jackson. I think that he is one of the most important players on this defense this year.
Zach Neal joining us on the Oregon Man Clinics hotline. It's the Sports Animal, the Drive, here for a Thursday weekend eve up and down the I-5 corridor and out on the coast on Fox Sports Newport at 92.7 FM. So, Zach, on the offensive side of the ball, obviously the Dante Moore return has been much ballyhooed. We're going to have a lot of more connections. So that running back room is intriguing to me because there is such a wealth of talent back there. Is there somebody that is possibly off?
There are a few guys. I'm really intrigued. We know what we're getting with Pierre Hill and Jordan Davison. I think that they did what they did last based on a lot of pure talent without really knowing too much of the playbook and the finer schematics. They're true freshmen. When you go into this year, I'm really Simeon Price. Tredarian Ball, again, a true freshman, but one of the most talented true freshman running backs in the nation. I was talking to Kenyon Barner, another friend of the show, last year I think it was at the Peach Bowl. He was saying this guy is going to do what Pierre and Jordan did last year. Like he thinks Oregon this year. We'll see. And then Simeon Price is the vet of the group. He's the guy in a really young room that comes in and gives them a lot of experience. I think can handle a lot of those maybe really close. That's kind of what I see for him. Take some of the wear and tear off the other guys. But I think those to, depending on what you get from them, is going to tell a lot about the room, because we know what we're getting at the top. You know, with Hill and Davison, that you've got two of the best young backs in the league, but what can the guys on the outskirts do for you?
That's a great point. Zachary Neal joining us. You can read him, watch him, and he is all over the socials as well. Zachary C. Neal, and he's our friend Cadillac here on The Drive, Sports Animal, 102.9 FM, 1050 AM in the Valley. Zach, last question for you, and it's a wide open one because we don't know a lot, but this is part of what we do is we kind of predict and we kind of, stir the pot a little bit. Is the Big Ten overall going to be stronger this year? I mean, they've had quite an incredible run. The last 3 national championships. Can it be a four-peat for the Big Ten? Are they that good?
I think so. And I think the better question almost is, where in the Big Ten does it come from?
Okay.
I mean, Oregon can absolutely do it. Indiana, would you be shocked if they did it again?
I'm not counting them out anymore. I've been doing that for
Not
2
at all.
years.
I mean, no one knew who Fernando Mendoza was outside of Cal and Indiana last year going into the year. And this year we know about Josh Hoover, and we know about Kurt Cignetti. And then Ohio State is Ohio State. They're the class of college football, always have been and always will be. So I absolutely would not be surprised if the Big Ten gets a 4th straight. It's just about which one of those 3 teams is going to do it. Because I think if it does happen, it's going to come from one of those 3. I don't see anyone else in the conference doing it.
All right, so we always ask about the kids. Who's is everyone gone down for their naps okay, or are they sequestered somewhere?
Nap time is over. They're up in the living room. Wife came home from work a little bit early so I could hop on and have some fun with you guys.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm sorry, Justin's Justin's doing. You just got me today. Justin's off doing something else right now. I have no idea. He's probably mixing up a burrito or something like that. Who knows? So
got you all to myself. I'm happy.
Well, buddy, hey, thanks a lot. We'll look forward to all of our conversations during this upcoming football season. It looks like it will be another exciting one, especially at Autzen Stadium and the rest of the Big Ten. The landscape has been all laid out for Oregon on a run to try and get themselves to a championship game, and we appreciate your contributions to this program.
Anytime you need me, I'm always happy.
Attaboy. Zach Neal from Duckswire. There he goes. So when we come back, we'll talk about top 10 baseball. Hopefully I get Justin back in here. I have some thoughts. I think people are going to be surprised by a couple of my picks here in the top 10. I mean, I think they will be. I know we're going to get Blaze in here, and he says he's got some homerism going on. Justin is going to join us back again in this next segment, and we hope you come back with us as well. It's the Sports Animal. It's The Drive, also on in Newport on Fox Sports Newport. I'm Doc. Come back on the other side here on the Sports Animal.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Beach, Clackamas, Beaverton, Salem, and Eugene. Video only.
You know weekends belong to sports. And Fox has more, plus the best in college football and big noon.
Get your news, get your weather and sports, and get to bed. Fox 34 News at 10, Western Oregon's only 10 o'clock news.
Hi, this is Drew from Dalton Carpet on West 11th in Eugene. Dalton Carpet is family owned and operated and proud to serve you for 30 years. Now more than ever, someone you know is walking on a Dalton floor. Do you have a flooring project? Get your summer off to a new start. Lane County's best selection with hundreds of rolls of carpet and thousands of feet of click-together flooring on display and in stock right now at unbeatable prices. Come see us today at Dalton Carpet, right here on West 11th in Eugene.
I've seen it, I've covered it. I'm Alex Rogers, your local farmer's agent in West Eugene. When you need auto, home, life, or business insurance, Farmers can help you protect everything you've worked so hard to achieve. I really enjoy what I do, and I can help you understand all your coverage options. When I'm your farmer's agent, you're not stuck at the mercy of some computer. I'm your advocate when you need help. Visit my office today at 1154 Garfield Street here in Eugene, or give me a call at 541-284-2804.
Oregon. This is our home. From its wide Pacific shore to its majestic peaks and open desert, this state has it all. But one careless spark could take all of this away. Whether you're at home, at play, or on the job, the power and responsibility keep Oregon green.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
I got my boys back. I got my boys back in with me. This is Sports Animal. Hello there, friends. Welcome to a Thursday edition of The Drive. There's some big news coming up. A week from tomorrow that I'm going to be able to tell everybody. I love getting put. You know, if you're looking at us on YouTube right now, or Twitch, or Twitter on the video feed, and by the way, thanks. My lucky number's up there right now. Blaze looks like he has a halo over him. Vegas looks like he's angelic. Look at that. You see that, Baby J?
I do.
Hold on a second. I got to turn your microphone.
That's
There we
normally
go.
everywhere
I'm
I
back.
go, to be honest. But
What? It's normally everywhere?
yeah, they're just like light happens to be right above my head.
I got to pivot. Chris Burkhart's going to come up next hour, and we're going to talk WNBA three-point shooting controversy. Portland Fire losing to the Wings. You heard that right here on the Sports Animal, and also on the coast at KNCU. And we've got now, in this segment, this little old segment, and by the way, if you want to chime in, we're going to give our top 10. If you want to give your top 5 or whatever, you can call us on the Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-343-5673. I'll say it one more time. 541-343. Say it together, kids. 5673. Okay.
5673.
A little late there, buddy. We'll get it next time.
It's all right. He's a little slow on the uptake sometimes. So let's do. You want to do top 10? Or you want to do top 5? You want to do top 10 first?
We might as well go top 10.
Might as well top 10.
I think there's a pretty clear top 7, and then
you think top, but in what order?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think you could pick 7 teams pretty much in any, not in any order, but like I think there's a group of 7. There's separate groups in there, but I think after the 7th team, I'm kind of like, all right, now I'm searching for straws a little bit.
Okay.
Like I like some teams, but it's more muddied.
And by the way, if you're on the YouTube stream and you want to just write out your top 10 teams in any particular order, I'll read them. So you got a little chat thing. We got the chat room open over there on the Sports Animal. So you can go ahead. You go to Sports Animal on the platforms, or you can click through on the socials. You'll find us online, and you can take us wherever you go. All right. So why don't we go from 10 to 6?
Ooh. Can we go the other way? I feel more confident going from 1 to.
But the reveal's supposed to be who's.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I just feel less confident going the other way. I think I could more figure it out.
Are we really going to disagree on who's number 1?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think it gets obviously more interesting as it goes along.
Fine. Is that what you want to do, Vegas? Do you want to do 1
that
through
works.
10?
That works.
It's messing my whole thing. I teach you guys guys how to do radio a little bit. Okay, so
We're teasing it.
Do we?
Well, that's the
we're
thing.
not
You're-
teasing
you're
it if we
going
all say
down.
no. We're not teasing it if we all say the number one team first.
But isn't it more interesting because we already know who number one is? So you're going to go in to get the less interesting stuff last,
Okay.
right? You know
Right, so
what I'm
here's we're going to say okay. So first of all, by the way, before we get into the list, okay, I promise the guys, there's been a crew of like 4 or 5 guys from Quantum Fiber who was just acquired by AT&T that have literally been working on our new studios, putting in our fiber optic line, our internet line, all day long. They have been here since about 9:30 this morning, and they're just leaving now. Now that is uncommon, you know, in some trades that there's that much dedication. They would have probably given up a couple of hours ago because there was a lot of work that needed to be done that I think they did not anticipate. So I'm going to give a big shout out to those guys because now we're going to internet on this side of the building. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate you. Next beverage is on me. There you go. All right. So we all want to say 3, 2, 1 and just say who the number one team is?
Sure.
3, 2, 1. Los
Dodgers.
Angeles. Okay, I said.
Do we say the full city and team name?
No,
I guess we
I
didn't make
refuse
it.
to say Los Angeles.
Why?
Something.
He's a California guy.
altogether.
Why do you say you refuse to say Los Angeles altogether? Why is that, Vegas?
Because I'm a Yankees fan.
Really?
Isn't the Yankee Dodger rivalry a little dated?
It
I
has
know they
nothing to
just
do with the
played each other
rivalry.
recently, but you
it
know.
also is the fact that I'm from Southern California and I'm not a Dodgers fan, and I have to deal with constant, incessant just noise in my ear.
But the Dodgers have bought the best roster in baseball, and they have
They are the number one
65
team.
wins. They
They're
have
the
the
best
most
team.
names. They have not even close. Well, I mean, Milwaukee's right there, though, and I have Milwaukee as number 2.
I also have Milwaukee as number 2. I think that's pretty clear cut.
Vegas?
Yeah. I do have Milwaukee as number 2.
Okay, so Vegas, who do you have as 3?
The Yankees. Healthy Yankees with Aaron Judge.
No, you can't quantify it right now as they are. Are they the 3rd best team in Major League Baseball?
No.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
This is like in real time. This isn't like what I hope and I pray and I think. Like if buts were candy and nuts, we'd all be happy for Christmas, is what my grandpa used to say to me.
Well, he's going to come back, though.
Aaron Judge will.
Yes.
Well, so when he comes back, then you can move the Yankees up in the rankings.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna still hold you to 3 right now
We
because
can
that's what you
continue
said.
these rankings. We can update them.
Okay, yeah, we can. We don't. It's just not like
We do
this is
with the Big
it.
10 every week.
Okay, so who do you have as
Who do
number?
I have as number 3?
Yeah.
I think I've got Atlanta.
I was right there as well. I've got Atlanta 3 and I've got Tampa Bay 4.
I think I'm with you. I think we're in agreement here.
And then I've got the Yankees. See, to me, I was tough between the Yankees and the Cubs, but the Cubs just, pooped on themselves again against Detroit.
Are we allowed to say that?
So I can say poop. People can figure out
it.
People can figure out what that means. And what I really wanted to say that I can't say.
You can't say that
on the air. But I'm still going to put New York as 5, and I'll put the Cubs as 6. So Baby J, you give me 4, 5, and 6.
I think I'm going to go, this is maybe a little bit of a hot take. I think I'm going to go Philadelphia at 4. And then I'll have Tampa and New York.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that, Blaze?
I like that a lot, actually, because I was going to have the Braves at 4, and then the Phillies at 5 as well.
Okay.
And then at 6, moving all the way to 6, I'd put Tampa.
I just really like Philly. They just have a lot of players I really like. I like Bryce Harper. I like Kyle Schwarber. I think you can get a little bit more out of Trey Turner. I like their pitching as well.
Well, no, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit there. They had a huge blow with Brad Keller going down. That's a bad look for their relief core.
They've still got Christopher Sanchez, who is pretty
Still
good.
the Cy Young race.
Exactly. Aaron Nola's been not good,
Zach
but-
Wheeler, except unless they're playing Atlanta.
That's true. But Zach Wheeler has been pretty good. 100 innings, 2.16 ERA. I like him.
So let's stay on the Phillies for a second, because I think with the injury, do you think they go after a pitcher? Do you think they go after Skubal or something like that?
I don't know about Skubal. I mean, they could be.
They could open
make
up the
sense.
covers, because listen,
Yeah.
if you think you're one player away
100%.
on that back end, then that's the guy you go after, don't you?
Absolutely. The Phillies have been that team for years. Come on to them and the Padres, where just like every year they're just going for it. They're going to sell the prospects. They're going to trade for that piece that they feel like they need for the playoffs. And I think they're going to do that again, especially because you have another kind of career year from Kyle Schwarber. Bryce Harper is only getting older.
Yeah.
So I think that they are sort of in their window, and they should just go for it, quite honestly. I think they have a talented team. I've always liked who they have, like the actual players.
See, here's the thing. Detroit's going to be selling. So that is, Skubal is their piece that they can sell, that everybody can
get him. The Dodgers have the best farm system. They're the most willing to take on the
Stop
money.
speaking this into
I'm sorry, it's
existence.
just reality. I'm just living in reality here, guys.
Stop it.
So
I don't like it.
So where are we at with yours, Vegas? Did we get up to 6 for you?
Yeah,
So-
I put the Rays at 6.
Okay.
So you had Yankees 4.
No, I'm going to keep the Yankees at 3 because in my
Okay.
mind, Aaron
Okay.
Judge will be back soon from the stress fracture.
So who's
and
4,
everything
who's
will be
5, and
okay.
who's 6?
4 is the Braves.
Okay.
5 is the Phillies, and the 6 is the Rays.
Okay.
It's funny, though, because I don't really think about the NL East as like, oh, this is like one of the best divisions in all of MLB, but I do have 2 of their top 5 teams as NL East teams. So that is kind of interesting to me.
So
thinking about it out loud.
I'll just tell you that I would put the Cubs higher if they weren't in the same division as the Brewers, because every time the Cubs do something good, the Brewers seem to match it. But I had the Cubs 6.
I do too. I think that I would have the Cubs higher if they actually. Sorry, I guess I have them 7. I guess. I think that the Cubs would be higher to me if they had not some of the worst pitching in all of Major League Baseball. And I'm not even just saying that because they're my
the
team.
reason it's that way because they're not healthy. You want
But
to talk
that's
about a
still
team
reality.
I know,
That's
but I
just
mean,
reality though.
the team's been decimated
I don't
by
think
injuries.
the reinforcements are coming from their injuries returns.
It's pretty simple for Chicago. If you're a Chicago fan right now, here it's pretty simple for you. I'm going to just lay it out for you. All the Cubs need to do is just keep winning, stay in the top wild card spot, try and make it a race with the Brewers
Get
if
some
you
pitching.
can, and they will go after somebody. So again, maybe they go across the field tonight or this afternoon or wherever. They still playing Detroit? Maybe they just go.
I don't think they're
maybe they
playing
just go
today.
pack up a bag for Skubal and just bring them across the field.
I did see that they might go after Rafael Soriano from the
That's fine,
Angels,
but they need
Ty
pitching.
Detmers as well. Those
They
are
need-
pitchers.
I know, but they need. That's what I mean. They need.
They
pitching.
do. They have one of the best lineups in Major League Baseball. They're that team. They can either be the hottest team or they just will lose 10 games in a row. So I feel like that's not a top 5 team to me, especially if they're flawed. So I think they could though. Like if they go out and get
have them
if
top
they go out
five,
and get
which is 6.
Skubal,
Yeah.
I know that's what I'm saying. This is why I have them there. But if they went out and got Skubal, all right, all of a sudden.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Okay, so it's the Drive Sports Animal here on a Thursday afternoon. Thanks for hanging in with us. Yeah, I mean you're still listening to us. It's in the 4 o'clock hour, late in the 4 o'clock hour, and we're still talking sports with you and other things here on the Sports Animal. It's Danny, it's Justin, it's Blaze, also Dom's helping out with the production side of it on the old YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. All right, so we're up to number. Let's do 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's just knock them out. Okay, Vegas, do you want to go first?
So as I said before, 7, or I said I have Rays at 6. Sorry.
Yeah. Who's 7?
7, I would say most likely. Shoot, it's tough for me to be honest, but I would say probably the Diamondbacks. 8. I can't say the White Sox. I think the Guardians.
By the way,
9,
they're the Indians. I'm sorry. I had to do that at least once.
9, I hate doing this one as well, but the Red Sox, I think that 15-game win streak isn't just like a fluke. I think they have kind of created a resurgence and found their stride. And to finish it off, it might be kind of a little unpopular, at least, but the Nationals. I think their offense is so good to not kind of keep them out of the playoffs. It might be difficult for them to make it, but I think they can do it.
That's out left field. No pun intended.
I think that it's
So
fair
7
once you get down to that 10 range. There's just a bunch of teams.
7, 8, 9, 10, Baby J.
Okay, so my 7, I said the Cubs, right? Because I had all those other teams ahead of them. And then I will put the White Sox at 8.
Yeah.
I think the White Sox are really good. And I'll put the Cardinals at 9. And then I'll put the Diamondbacks at 10. I think if I were to put 11, I put the Guardians then.
Okay. I got the Phillies at 7. I got the White Sox at 8. I've got the Red Sox at 9. Come on, guys. They just
I don't
won.
believe in them.
They just
Sorry,
won-
you guys are
they
both
just-
in on them. I don't think I believe in them.
They just won 15 games in a row.
I watched the Cubs win 10 and lose 10.
On June 24th, the Red Sox had a 9.4% chance of making the playoffs. Less than a month later, they have a 61.7% chance of the playoffs. You don't think that's a team on the rise?
Double wild card.
I think they're a team on the rise, but I think that starting tomorrow is where we're really going to know, because they did lose that game yesterday, and they go ahead and they play the Blue Jays. They're at home. So that's where I'm going to sit there and say, all right, if they can go on another streak, then I'm in on them. But if they don't, if that's sort of a cutting off point, and then that's where they have a downturn, that's when I think I'm right.
Okay, so they did all of this, by the way, and for those that are not Red Sox fans, and especially I know that Blaze knows this because he watches the Red Sox, so he knows what they're doing and when they're doing it, is they did this whole thing, this Red Sox resurgence, without Garrett Crochet, or I call him Crochet, Garrett Crochet, and Roman Anthony. And they don't know if they're coming back. So I can guarantee you they're going to rock it if they get those two guys back. Basically, their best pitcher and their best hitter have been out of the lineup when they've done this. So I've got, at number 10, I've got the Mariners.
Okay, bit of a hometown crowd here, I think, for that one.
I'm not doing it for that, but I think they're better, and I think they're going to make a push.
I don't know. I thought
well, if you don't believe in the Red Sox, then you
better
better believe in the Mariners if you're not going to believe in the Red Sox, because that means they're going to get into the postseason in the wild card.
Well, I just think the NL teams are better, quite honestly, than these AL teams. So that's part of what I'm thinking.
You have the same number of teams that make it into the playoffs, but you're
I
right.
understand. It's about like rankings, so.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. So, Portland Fire lose to the Dallas Wings. We'll talk about that in the next segment. And coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll have Chris Burkhardt. Chris Burkhardt will join us to talk. We can't get away from the Blazers and Tom Dundon. So, Chris Burkhardt from formerly Rip City Radio and iHeart is going to join us. He's got his own little dealio going, but he'll join us in the 5 o'clock hour as well. 3-point shooting controversy. Oh, my goodness gracious. The sky is falling on Sabrina Ionescu, I think, or Caitlin Clark, or both of them. There is a big controversy. I want you guys to explain this to me because I still don't understand. When we return, it's the Sports Animal. It's the Drive here in Eugene and in Newport.
10:50 a.m. and 102.9 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios, you're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table.
Everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rate, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live United. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Oh, hi. Do you know what this is the sound of? It's the sound of me getting rewarded for doing my part to prevent wildfires. See, right now I'm getting a big, remarkably heartfelt bear hug from Smokey Bear. Thanks, big guy. And now we're shaking. Okay. First, I made sure there were no low-hanging branches when I set up my campfire. Hey, Smokey, let me down for just a second. I need to make sure everyone can hear this. There we go. Then, when we were packing up to leave, I drowned out my campfire, stirred it, drowned it out again, and then made sure to feel it if it was cold. Oh, Smokey Bear really loves it when you do that, don't you, Smokey? Oh, he lets his hugs do the talking. Visit SmokeyBear.com to learn tips to prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Next hour, we'll have Chris Burkhardt joining us on the old telephone, and that's open right now for you. The Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-343-5673. You want to hop on and contribute to the program, you can do it that way. You can send us a little instant message on the YouTube right over here. It's right over there. Where's that direction? It's that direction.
Great radio.
For the people who are on YouTube that can see me doing that, they see it. It's over there, and you can just do a little chat thing, and we might even throw it up on the air. But of course, that's another great radio piece but people are watching, so we want to subscribe to everybody or acknowledge everyone. Next hour, Chris Burkhardt will talk about the three-point shooting controversy. Is the commissioner of the and we might want to throw this in the part of this, is the commissioner of the WNBA just kind of tripping over her own heels? I mean, you heard at the American Century Classic that Dan Patrick was trying to get her on. She said she was going to come on, and then she no-showed as DP and his entire show were waiting for like 2 hours, and then somebody in public relations said, no, she's not coming on. And it's like, how do you do that? And especially, how do you do that to the most beloved sportscaster in our country?
Who you can hear right on this station.
Absolutely. What do you think I'm plugging that? You can hear mornings from 6 to 10 a.m., 6 to 9. I better get it right.
You're going to learn it.
6 to 9, and then Colin.
What radio station are we again?
We are the Sports Animal, dude. And the Drive here. I'm Danny. Right over there is Justin, and Blaze is in the studio along with Dom. So, by all the way on the socials, it's just Sports Animal EUG, and that's our website as well. All right, so Portland Fire, we're the home of the Portland Fire, if you didn't know that as well. Last night, they lose to Dallas, 101-97. It was a back-and-forth game. Portland goes up for a little bit, and then I think they ended up the game at half. It was tied. Portland now drops to 11-16 overall on the season. They were 3-7 in their last 10. Dallas had been scuffling for a second, but now they've kind of righted the ship. And this Paige Bueckers play, the first time the Fire and the Wings played before, Paige Bueckers wasn't in the game for Dallas. And so it's Dallas now 18-9 on the season. Their last 10, they are gone 7-3. So Portland, they've been scuffling a little bit. We got a caller on the line? Who we got?
I think we got someone on the line.
All right, so let's head on over to the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-343-5673 and welcome in. I wish I would know what his name is, but I can probably guess it's Brad. Who is it?
Nice guess.
Because he told me he was going to call me today. Hi, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. Actually, I want to get to a couple things from yesterday. But first and foremost, I wanted to say congratulations on your Patrick Kane re-signing. I know exactly how you felt because I felt the same way when Ovi said he was coming back for another year for the Caps.
Absolutely, dude. I love it. I'm going to be riding high on that all the way into the hockey season. I'm breaking out all my Blackhawks gear. I had to put it away for a little while, even though I love Connor Bedard. But, man, when you get spoiled with Stanley Cups, then all of a sudden they've been, a desert for a while, and they've just been so bad for so long. The energy's still there in the United Center, but they finally, I think, going to have a product this year that we can actually stand to watch.
Well, as a Capitals fan, I wouldn't know anything about that, but it was good. It was good to break through at least once.
All right, what else is on your mind, bud?
Well, so just from yesterday, I was gonna call to say go Orioles and break that streak, and sure as heck they did. So I'm really glad about that. And the Orioles have actually been pretty hot post All-Star break. not that I think it'll become of anything, but for the dismal season that it's been, I'm excited, glad that they kept Boston from setting their franchise record last night. And then, you talked about having to go into negotiations with Blazer Broadcasting.
Yep.
I sure hope you're able to hold on to that and that you don't get Dundoned. I sure enjoy catching the play-by-play on the terrestrial radio waves, and I don't know. It's so many things in sports are changing, but I do love listening to, especially basketball. Basketball and baseball just do real well over the radio, in my opinion.
Brad, I 100% agree with you. And here's part of the situation. I said I'm going to be honest with our listening audience, especially because I'm the one that's in the room doing the negotiating as well. So I can say it is. Listen, the Blazers haven't even told me what, where, who, and why we're going to have a radio network yet. That's part of the problem. That's part of my issue is I've been given no clear direction on, as an affiliate, what I can do and when I can do it. I mean, I've still got their equipment sitting here, but as of now, I mean, they basically dismantled both sides, TV and radio, their networks. And so they say they're working on it. They say they're going to have a resolution soon. And yeah, I mean, I could probably be calling them out here for that, but it's just like, for someone like me and a small business owner, you can't just wait forever and say 48 hours before the season starts, oh, by the way, here's our network. There's things that we have to do.
Well, I mean, with all the staff cuts, I'm sure that they've got, one person doing three people's jobs in the past, and it's, I'm sure they're scrambling to figure out what the heck is going on, and looking over their shoulders, worried about being next. It's kind of a crappy situation to be working under, and just that alone. I mean, despite all of the other things that Dundon has done, I despise the way he's taking care of his staff, and really sad to see Calabrio go and all of those guys from Blazer Broadcasting. It's like, what the hell are they doing up there?
Well, I mean, Brad, you're a owner as well. I mean, can you even think about waking up in the morning and having your employees with this cloud over their head, not knowing if they were going to have a job tomorrow or what their role is going to be? I mean, that's what I call a toxic work environment.
Absolutely, and the comment yesterday about him making his money from being a subprime auto loan lender that
everything.
Totally rings true. It's, I just survived Daniel Snyder years in Washington.
Oh, yeah.
And he was I thought I had seen the absolute worst owner in Major League Sports, but I don't know. Well, I sure hope we end up with a team in Portland in the long run. And it really, what I keep asking is, like, why the heck didn't Jody Allen just sell the team to Phil Knight?
That's a great question that only Jody Allen can ask herself in the mirror now. But honestly, she got her money. I hope she got her money. I hope she got all of it. I think she did.
She certainly did.
And I just think the whole thing was bungled from the start. I think that the NBA did not vet Tom Dundon well enough. I think they could have just looked at what he did and has done in Carolina to go, hey, I think that you could have really found a better way to get this team into somebody else's hands.
Yeah. Well, and I hate the fact that Carolina won the damn Stanley Cup, so that there's some justification to his, unconventional leadership model, as it were.
Yeah. Okay, Brad, we've taken care of some of the business for you today?
I'm good. I got it all off my chest. Thanks so much.
So, hey, how do you like the new show? Everything going okay?
I'm enjoying it. It's really good, and I love the old format, but it's cool to have just the expansive time and to be able to call in and voice my opinion. I like it.
Yeah, they like it too. Well, he's one of our P1s, so he gets a nickname next. It's going to make Mark mad because it took him a year and a half to get a nickname, but I think I might give Brad a nickname next. How about that?
All right. I look forward to it.
All right. There he goes, the great Brad. That's the
Take
phone.
care.
Yep. Thanks, buddy. 541-343-5673 is the Oregon Man Clicks hotline. We're up against a break, so let's do that now. And then when we come back, we'll take a few more phone calls to the top of the hour. WNBA is in the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to talk about that with a three-point shooting controversy, apparently. So we'll talk about that a bit. We want to return to, you want to talk Ducks? You want to talk your top 10 in Major League Baseball? Throw them on out there. Here we go. We're breaking hearts here on the Sports Animal.
.1050 AM and 102.9 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios, you're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Iconic summer moments deserve an iconic drink. Reach for Mountain Dew, an American original. From its beginnings in the foothills of Tennessee to your biggest summer yet. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since '48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com. So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Jansen Beach, Clackamas, Beaverton, Salem, and Eugene. Video.
Our country depends upon cars and trucks. And our automotive technicians are the essential workers that keep families safe and businesses moving. At Sun Automotive, being an automotive technician isn't a plan B. It's a future and an important career that challenges you to grow and gives you the satisfaction of keeping people safe and on the road. For the best service under the sun, come to Sun Automotive.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
Doc Baby J, Vegas, and Hawk here for the next couple of minutes, top of the hour. And next hour, we'll have Chris Burkhardt on the program. We doing Chris in the first segment next hour?
Whatever you told him.
I said 5:05, so yeah, we're doing the first segment.
We'll do the first segment.
Sports Animal in Eugene, 102.9 FM, 1050 AM. Thanks for lending us your ears for a second. So I just want to make sure everyone understands that our friend Gator down in Arizona is apparently heartbroken because I'm saying that I'm going to have a nickname for Brad next time he calls in, which I've told Coach Mark before that when he gets his own show, then he can make the rules. So now
good comment
he
here.
says that he needs some transparency on the nickname policy. When's the next board meeting? Gator's got a lot to say. Well, Gator's got to be invited to the board meeting first.
Gators got some drops that I'm going to add from the other guys, I think.
Absolutely.
I think Gators would be involved here pretty soon.
So, of course, you know, I
don't think we can use a lot of those quotes, actually.
No,
now that I'm thinking about it.
no, you can't. You can't use some of those quotes. But the Oregon Man Clinics hotline will be open for you a lot for the next hour. You want to chime in whenever you want to take the conversation. We'll be happy to follow along with you. And the number, of course, 541-343-5673. The drive is live in Newport as well on Fox Sports Newport, KNCU 92.7 FM. Thanks for giving us a little bit of your time over there on the coast, the beautiful Oregon coast. Weather's cleared up a little bit down here in the valley. It was pretty smoky last night a little bit. I didn't really notice it until we got out late. And it was kind of like a haze. And some of it blew through last night. We had a little rain. Did you notice the rain that we had?
I did not, because I was
Were you sleeping?
Sweating a lot. So I was raining on myself, basically.
It was very humid.
I did notice that.
yesterday.
It was like Florida a little bit. Not
Yeah.
quite like that, but
it didn't get as hot today as it had been the last couple of days. So, so we got that going for us. And, of course, you know, Gator's just not giving up on this. No, they're not. I get to make the rule. I don't know how I have to explain to everyone that he said board meetings are public. There is no public.
We are the judge, jury, and executioner.
All right, next hour, Chris Burkhardt will join us. We'll have some discussions still about the Blazers. So Chris has got a very unique perspective because he was the host of the fifth quarter. He was the host of the pregame, postgame, the middle of the Blazer broadcast, and now that is no more. So we'll get a little insight from Chris Burkhardt, who's been released from his non-compete, to talk to us next on the Sports Animal. This is The Drive. Thanks for lending us some time today. As I've said before, get us on the old socials. Sports Animal, EUG. Baby J, Blaze, and I will be back in 2 and 2.
AM and 102.9 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Almost every car made over the last 10 years has a camera. Did you know that when you replace a windshield, the camera needs recalibrated? If your glass provider doesn't fix the camera, you can have issues with safety features like forward collision alert, adaptive cruise control, or emergency braking. Don't trust some guy in a truck to fix or replace your windshield and then have to make a second appointment to calibrate your camera. You need Olson's Auto Glass, 2041 West 7th Avenue in Eugene. Olson's Auto Glass, repairing windshields since 1938.
I'm just an average guy. Got a good job, a beautiful wife, and 2 great kids. Love them to pieces. I even love it when they're all in the car together with me. But I never get a chance to choose the radio station. But I really love it when I'm in the car by myself, all alone. Because then I am the master of my radio! I listen to my music as loud as I want. And when an ad for a new taco place comes on, what do? I drive straight there for lunch. Sometimes I eat in my car. Lucky for me, I also heard an ad for a dry cleaner who specializes in hot sauce stains. This weekend, I have tickets for me and my brother Jack to go see our favorite comic. Why? Because I heard the ad on the radio and I jumped on it. How do I do it, you ask? Because I am the master of my radio! Until you know I pull into the drive the weekend. Hey, everybody! Daddy's home!
Radio gets results. For all the facts and ideas about effective radio advertising, call this station.
Brought to you by Eugene Area Radio Station. Ears!
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad, he was worse than I felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
You guys just didn't want it bad enough. That should have been an easy win. What were you doing out there? You gotta hustle. You could have made that play if you'd been open.
On the car ride home after the game, been
think you're helping by telling me what I did wrong and what I need to work on. All I hear is that I'm not good enough, that I'm supposed to be perfect, that it's not okay to lose. On the car ride home, all I need to hear is how much you love me and enjoy watching me play. That my worth isn't determined by my performance. That even on my worst day, I am worthy. That you see me learning, growing, and doing my best. And that is enough.
This message presented by the OSAA and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
KORE, Springfield, Eugene. I'm Steve Mims. You can listen to me on The Drive weekdays from 3 to 6 on the Sports Animal Eugene.
This is a Sports Animal Sports Bite.
I'm Blaze Winston. Starting off with NFL training camp news, the Baltimore Ravens waived rookie quarterback Diego Pavia to make room for veteran center Ethan Post. The Heisman Trophy finalist was signed in April as an undrafted free agent. The Ravens still have 4 quarterbacks on their roster. Moving to MLB news, Guardians pitcher Gavin Williams grabs the team's 5th ever immaculate inning during his 11th strikeout performance against the Twins. Williams struck out 3 batters in 9 pitches in the 4th inning, making this the first immaculate inning since 2022. Staying with MLB, the Athletics placed right-handed pitcher JT Ginn on the 15-day injured list due to a blister on his middle finger of his pitching hand. Ginn has a record of 8-6 and pitching a 3.46 ERA. The A's will now have a season high of 11 players on the injured list. Sports Bites every hour, and whenever news breaks, follow us at sportsanimalEUG.com. I'm Blaze Winston.
All right, here we are. The Sports Animal, The Drive. Hello, kids. It's now we have like a. Do you remember when you were a little kid, Baby J? Did you ever make like forts out of like seat cushions on the couch and like cardboard boxes? You'd make little forts.
Absolutely.
We almost are building like a little fort behind you right now with the banners for the stream.
We can talk about it off air.
Why? It looks pretty cool, man. You got it all. Now you have a black backdrop that you were asking for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now it's why all of a sudden are you shutting down? Don't shut down on me.
Down.
Yes, you were.
I just want to say what I want to say on the air.
Oh, you're going to say it off the air to me then, aren't you?
I will.
Okay.
Always.
Chris Burkhardt coming up in just a few moments. By the way, I mentioned all the stuff he had done at iHeart and for the Blazers. He also is the social media director and assistant director at OSAA. So we've got some things to talk about. He's coming up next. And we'll dial him in on the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline. Open phones for the rest of the hour after we're done with Chris. So if you want to hop on in or you have a thought, let's hear it at 541-343-5673. With our expanded show now, with the new Sports Animal, with The Drive, we now have 3 hours, where before, when Justin and I did our other show, we only had 1 hour. We called it Fast as 60 Minutes because we didn't have time really to take calls. And this is what I love, is being able to interact with the people out there listening. So don't be shy. We don't bite. We don't bite hard.
We would go on one tangent, and all of a sudden the entire show would be ruined.
That was more you than me. I mean,
I'm ADD.
I think your tangents were remarkable, and so we do appreciate you. So let's head on over to the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-343-5673 and welcome in our good friend. We call him, I didn't tell you, I think I did. I think I told you I changed your nickname from the first time we had blessed you with one, Mr. Burkhardt. You're now Bear, right? And I think I told you that.
You did. You told me that. I accepted it.
Yeah, okay, see. Not begrudgingly.
Graciously,
He accepted it graciously. Welcome,
Yes.
welcome to the new program, man. The Sports Animal. We've reinvented radio down here in Eugene, not like like fixing radio. I think we're fixing some things. And this is The Drive, 3-hour show that we started this week, and I know you're going to be a big part of it for us. So thanks for hopping on, buddy.
Of course.
So, Mr. Burkhardt, how is life up there in Portland?
Hectic. in one word. It's a little crazy right now, obviously, with all the stuff going on and the county meeting today and the city playing tug of war with Tom Dundon. It is a wild time in Portland.
So can you update us a little bit? Because I know I was reading and a lot of it was going on when we started our show, so I haven't been able to get really up to speed on the meetings, except for the fact that I was seeing people saying I've never been more enthralled by a county commissioner meeting in the middle of a Thursday before in my life because of what's going on. So is there any updates you can provide us?
No, that is absolute sarcasm. There was nothing enthralling about a county meeting on a middle of the week that got nothing done. There was no vote. There was just a lot of posturing and talking back and forth. And I mean, it was like treading water. You know, you feel like you're running or you feel like you're swimming, but you're really not moving anywhere. You're just staying afloat. That's what that meeting was. It was a whole lot about nothing, man.
Digital media producer extraordinaire reporter has been covering the Trailblazers as the pre and post game. He was hosting the fifth quarter, middle of the game as well, for a lot of years for iHeartRadio up there. And unfortunately, Chris Burkhardt kind of got swept out, just like a lot of people did. We heard the news that Kevin Calabro got a subprime offer, and so he's not going to do TV anymore. We still are up in the air with our good friend Travis Demers on the radio side. I don't even know if there's a radio network anymore. I just don't know. So, Chris, try and give us some clarity on something. Give us a little bit of hope that there's actually going to be some media coverage that we can hear the games somewhere, somehow. Can you?
I mean, right now it's all up in the air. This is a very, very weird time. I think people knew that this could happen, but didn't want to admit that it could happen, myself included. Because you sat there and everyone goes, look at what he did in Carolina. And you're like, yeah, but that's hockey. This is the NBA. The radio is the lifeblood of this organization and this league, and they're not going to touch Kevin Calabro. He's a Hall of Famer. Well, guess what? They touched the radio station, and they touched Kevin Calabro. He's gone. So they are kind of rudderless at this point. From some of the stuff I heard, that they have not really had a plan B. They were hoping that Kevin Calabro would take the deal. He did not. He decided to move on. And now you're sitting in a situation, Danny, where it is mid-July, and you don't have a broadcasting team. You don't have your play-by-play guy. You don't know what the status of all your other pieces are. You don't have a director or a producer, and preseason games are in October. So they have a long way to go, and we'll see what happens. I know Lamar Hurd is still under contract, so he seems to be, air quotes, safe right now. But as you mentioned with Travis Demers, they ended up cutting him, and so there is no radio broadcast at the moment unless perhaps one of the iHeart or someone else steps up and tries to fill the void with Travis. I know there's a lot of moving parts there, but no, they took the voice of radio away. They took the voice of the TV broadcast away, and right now there is no certainty as to what the answer is going to be for those two different media avenues.
And Chris, there was so much hope after the way that the Blazers season ended. Of course, the Tom Dundon stuff kind of infected that a little bit at the end of the season based on the timing of everything, but it was a rebuild for so long, and then you finally have this team of just, we haven't even talked about the Chauncey Billups stuff that's still kind of overhanging things, but you get that team to the playoffs after you have Thiago Splitter come in, and there's all this hope finally for this team, and then all this stuff happens. So is there any hope right now for Blazer fans?
I think once the season starts, that's your hope, because it's going to allow you to kind of forget about everything else that's going on for a minute. And I think there's a lot to be hopeful for about what's going on the court. It's just all that other stuff that's muddy. But the thing is, you're going to have a fun year. And this is why I'm bummed. You mentioned, not having game day in the fifth quarter. And, to be clear, there was different circumstances that led to that, but that was my decision to walk away. But at the same time, I'm sitting here going, man, you got Damian, you got Coach Norrie making his debut. There's a lot to be excited about the basketball team. That is why it's a little frustrating that so much of the focus has been on Tom Dundon, the future of the team, what's going on off the court, because the on-the-court product is going to be very, very fun to watch and cover this season.
He is still an associate director of the OSAA, the Oregon School Activities Association, and he joins us here on the Drive. It's the Sports Animal Eugene and on the coast and Fox Sports Newport. Welcome in, friends. It's Chris Burkhardt, who is, well, I don't want to say you're rudderless, Chris. I know you're an entrepreneur, and so you're going to dig right in. There isn't any reason why you can't build something outside of anything that Blazers are doing and be able to keep doing what you love and what you were good at, though.
Well, thank you for that vote of confidence, and I absolutely will. There's definitely going to be some avenues that I'm gonna look down, and some different podcasts and YouTube channels that I've already started that I'm just going to lean into a little bit. Like I said, I've been doing this for 14 years, and we're going to have some fun with it because the Blazers are going to need good coverage, and there's good coverage out there. Just because the corporate machine lets people go doesn't mean that there's not good coverage out there. That's the ever-changing landscape of media, right, Danny? I mean, the guys like Colin Cowherd or John Canzano and all those, they all end up doing their own thing and then eventually got latched on somewhere else because they voted on themselves. So I think everything's going to be okay as long as the Blazers don't end up playing in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
No, that's not going to happen. And we went through the whole litany of things that are going to have to happen for relocation, and there's a pretty long list, although I just think the posturing is just silly at this point. I said, you just get into a room, get the deal done, and move on. And then you can, focus on something else, which is what's going to be on the court, because that, to me, is the most important thing, along with the people that are associated with the team. So let's put some of that aside, because I know we want to stick it to the man here, and I know that you're going to be able to do something around the Blazers when it comes to the fall and into the winter. So let's focus on the team for a second, because I know you were very close to them. And we threw out a couple of things, Justin and I and Blaze, earlier about Damian Lillard. And so I want to ask this question to you, is what does Damian Lillard mean to the younger players on this team and to Ja Morant?
Damian Lillard is a Mount Rushmore type player for a lot of those players. I mean, look at Caleb Love last year. He talked about how Dame was his favorite player growing up. He modeled his game after Damian Lillard, and Scoot Henderson, when he was drafted, talked about how excited he was to be in the same organization. Now that didn't work out, but Dame is still Dame. He has a lot of gravity, and players are going to want to play with him. And I'll tell you this much, man. I know people talk about it a lot, and the fans talk about it, but I have been covering this team for 14 years. I've been in that locker room. I've been on the road. I have not seen a player who leads a locker room and gets players to gravitate to him more than Damian Lillard does.
Awesome.
So that type of guy in a locker room is great to have. I think it was great to have him and Drew Holiday last year when all that stuff happened with Coach Billups, because they had two great vet leaders who were well respected in every single locker room they've ever been in, kind of lead the way. And now you get Dame to not only be a leader in the locker room, but now he's going to get to be a leader on the court. People are going to get to go see what Damian Lillard can do. And if Damian Lillard is 75% of what Damian Lillard was when he left Portland, you're still getting a pretty darn good basketball player at the end of the day, who has a little bit of tread left on the tire. So let's ride it out. So yeah, Damian Lillard is that type of guy that Ja's going to love to play with, Scoot's going to love to play with, Denny's going to love to play with, because he's that type of guy that a lot of those guys in some way, shape, or form learned from or modeled their game after and watched play. Every single one of the guys on that roster watched him hit the bad shot over Paul George from somewhere, right? Whether it was their couch or a locker room or a basketball court where they just stopped playing to watch the game. Like, every single person watched it and knows how good he is. So yeah, he has gravity, my man, like I've never seen.
And I just look at this Blazers roster. Don't you think, Chris, that at some point they're going to have to get rid of one of these guards or get some value out of them in another way besides being on the roster?
Well, I do laugh. I say, when you have all the guards in the league on your team, you have all the leverage for all the teams who need guards, right?
Right.
You're going to have to trade one
cornering the market
eventually, and I don't know who it is, but you can't go out there and say, okay, so let's see, Ja's at the 1, Dame's at the 2, let's put Scoot at the 3 and Drew Holiday at the 4. Let's see if Shaedon Sharpe can play some center, and let's just have some fun. Like, no, you can't do that. You have an all-star caliber guard in Damian Lillard, who, again, coming off the Achilles, a lot of question marks there, but you have an all-star caliber guard in Ja Morant, who has been injured but still has all the talent in the world. And then you got, like I said, Drew, and you have Scoot, and you have Shea, and you have Beat Krejci, who can play the 2 guard. You have a lot of guards, and you do not have a lot of forward depth. So I still feel that there has to be trades somewhere down the line, because you got to have guys to back up Denny Avdia and Toumani Camara, and you have to open up the avenues for the guards that you do have, because you're going to have a hell of a time balancing minutes with all those guys right now. So, yeah, they got to do something, man. I don't know who it is. I mean, Drew Holiday makes the most sense because he's a vet, and I think a lot of playoff teams are going to want that guy on their roster. And there's going to be a lot of people calling about Scoot Henderson, too, being as young as he is. But you got to move something eventually, man, because you got a lot of players who play one position, but there's 5 positions on the floor. You got to maximize it.
Chris Burkhardt, a proud graduate of the University of Oregon and a skilled and silky smooth on-air talent. We call him Bear here on the Danny and Justin and Blaze and Dom radio program. See, I saved it. It's The Drive, the sports animal, and out there on the coast at Fox Sports Newport as we talk Blazers with Chris. I do want to talk OSAA in just a second, Chris, if you don't mind, because I know that's your other passion. But as we, again, I want to circle back to a conversation we had a bit earlier between us, and with those pieces that you just discussed, that one of them or maybe a couple of them are going to move, wouldn't it make sense, and I'll just throw out my conspiracy theory again here, wouldn't it make sense that Tiago Splitter is in the ear of his new GM and saying, hey man, I know the ins and outs of these players and I want him, let's make a deal?
I mean, it may make sense, but we're also talking about the Chicago Bulls here. That is a wildly run organization whose decision making just leaves you with a lot more questions than answers in the long run. And I love Tiago. You guys know I love Tiago. But we'll see what the Bulls do. But you're right in the aspect that he's going to look at that, and if any of those guys are available, he knows them very, very well. He knows them very well. And granted, Shaedon Sharpe kind of ended up in his doghouse at some points and was kind of unplayable in the playoffs because of it. But he showed a little bit of faith in Scoot Henderson during some important times, so I can see where he'd want to get in on that. And maybe a Drew Holiday type, just because, again, give me that vet leader to come in here and show these guys what to do. So, yeah, Tiago being on that makes perfect sense because, again, no one knows him better than he does at this point in time.
It's very true. And you were speaking to a Bulls fan.
He's wearing his Bulls hat right now.
I'm wearing my Bulls hat right now, actually, if you check our live stream. So you're not wrong. They do have different...
Now you have to defend the honor of your organization.
They have a new general manager, Bryson Graham, who there's a lot of excitement about. So we'll see what happens there. I think that there is some excitement about bringing in a Tiago Splitter. People are kind of like, well, like, how did this happen?
Come from?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, why didn't the Blazers keep him? But I think you might be right. Is there a case for maybe moving on from Shaedon as that young guy? I think Scoot, his defense is something that I think is really improving. We saw it during that playoff series against the Spurs that maybe even off the ball he can play a little bit as well. Shaedon, I start to worry about where he's going to be making an impact if he's not the guy with the ball in his hands, and he's not going to be a focal point on the offensive end, but he's never really been a great defender either.
Yeah, and here's my thing with Scoot Henderson before I dive into Shea is he gets a bad rap in Portland. I think it's just because he was the 3rd overall pick.
Right.
And then you come in the shadow of Damian Lillard leaving, and then expectations are so high. But I look at Scoot Henderson, and Scoot Henderson's a ball player. And you know what? Maybe he is just a sixth man, unfortunately. He's not the next big thing, but he plays well. He makes the right play. And the thing about his game is he doesn't have to go score, and it's never been his priority. He tries to set people up and make the offense run, and that's when he's at his best. And like you said, defensively, he's great. Shaedon Sharpe, on the other hand, has all of the athleticism in the world. The shot has improved over his last few years. Defensively, he does not bring much to the table. But I think he is what he is. If you want a guy who's going to go out there and score you 20-plus points a night, yeah, he's a good piece to have. But if you're the Blazers right now and you have Denny Avdia and you have Damian Lillard and you have John Morant, do you need that guy that's also going to go out there and score you 25 points a night? Because you already have guys who can score the ball. You don't need Shaedon Sharpe as much as you did 2 years ago. So, yeah, I absolutely think if one of those young guys is to go, that's the one I'm shopping right now. I think Scoot Henderson can play a little bit of the 1 and 2 just because he can defend both of them. He's not a shooting guard offensively, but Damian Lillard might be if he's refining his game in the later stages of his career. And Drew Holiday is both a guy who can play both those positions. So you have some flexibility there. But, yeah, I would absolutely be willing to part with Shaedon Sharpe and be shopping him. If you're team who has nobody on your roster who you can rely on to go score, then yeah, give me Shaden Sharp and just leave the door open for him to be that guy. But I just don't know exactly where his ceiling is anymore because he's just I think he's there. I don't see him all of a sudden making a big jump and being the guy at this point in his career because he just hasn't shown it to me.
The man we call Bear, he's got some of the best hair in the business. It's Chris Burkhardt joining us here on The Drive. It's the Sports Animal in Eugene at 102.9 FM, 1050 AM. That's how you're hearing us. And also on the stream, the YouTube, the Twitch, the Twitter, and all the socials at Sports Animal EUG. It's our 3 to 6 radio program. Last question for you, Chris. And it's more of a question and a comment. So obviously your passion as well is with the kids. You are an associate director at the OSAA. You do a lot of the social media, in fact, almost all the social media for them, I think. And we're coming into the fall, and we're going to be carrying a football team here in the fall. I'm not going to release who it is yet, but we're going to announce that next week. Is the participation that is needed for, and I want to focus on officials, has always been a call out the OSAA has made. So is there a way that people can engage with the OSAA and learn about how they can become an official and participate in that way to help the kids out? Because there's always a need.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question, and it's a great platform to talk about it for a second. If you go to the OSAA.org, we have a rotating carousel on the very front page, and one of them that always pops up is about becoming an official. It's right there. It's the very first one. There's a QR code there. You can click it. It's going to take you to the web page to become a new official. And once you're at that page, all you got to do is type in your information, and it's going to put you in touch with the local association that is closest to you because, yes, we're the governing body, but there's officials association in Portland and in Blue Mountain and on the coast. There's everywhere. So it's going to put you in touch with them so you get the right information so you can go out there and be an official. And for those of you who are on the fence, here's the thing. Over the last few years, you know, there was a low number with COVID, and then they've slowly started to build back up. And they're at pre-COVID levels now, but there's still a shortage. They still need officials. And you're going to go out there, you're going to get paid good money to officiate JV level games, and then you're going to earn your way onto varsity. But you got football, you got soccer, and you got all these sports going on that you can go officiating. Maybe you're officiating 4 games a week, and you're putting money in the bank, man, and it's good to have, and it's a great way to give back to these kids because we have a saying around the office, and that is, without you, the officials, we're just playing recess. You need officials to have those games going on, and it's a thankless job. You get all of the hate, right? Oh, my gosh, I can't believe that call. But the officials that I've worked with, they love the games that they officiate. They love the kids they get to work with because they're truly giving back in a very, very, very special way, quite honestly, because you need them. Like I said, so you guys can go to OSAA.org. You can email me, Chris B, CHRIS, and then the letter B at OSAA.org, or Chris Welch, KRISW, at OSAA.org. He leads all of our official stuff. He'll get you all the information you need. If you're even thinking about it, just send an email or go to that website, because here's the thing. You can go out there, try it, and maybe it's not your thing. But maybe you do try it, get the information you needed, and you're like, man, why did I wait so long for this to happen? And don't think, Danny, that you have to be like me, some 39-year-old mega sports fan to go be an official. There are kids out there who are juniors in high school who maybe aren't playing a sport who want to go officiate, or do play a sport but they want to officiate in the off season, and they're learning other sports to get a little extra money for college or while they're in college. So it doesn't matter how old you are. If you have any interest in it, go to OSAA.org, find the information, and we'll get you where you need to go.
All right, it's the great Chris Burkhardt. We call him Bear here on The Drive, the Sports Animal in Eugene, Fox Sports Newport out there on the coast. Buddy, take care of yourself. Pace yourself on the energy drinks, and we'll talk again soon.
What do you mean pace yourself? I take energy drinks like oxygen. I'm a father of 3 multiple jobs. That's what you got to do. And my heart stops if I don't have the caffeine.
Oh, my God. You crack me up, dude. Just take care of yourself, please, all right?
You as well, man.
All right, there he goes. The great Bear, Chris Burkhardt. Man, I'll tell you. All the Blazer information. I'm just going to say we're going to keep following him because he's going to do a show around the Blazers. I know he is. Game for the Blazers. And
Somebody
after.
needs to.
All right, so what do we got coming up next on the program, dude?
Three-point shooting contest, WNBA. I think we should get into it.
All right. It's controversy with Sabs and Caitlin. We'll talk about it next here on The Drive. Sports Animal, Eugene.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
Don't look now, but summer is half over. The good news is that you still have plenty of summer left. And with the deals on new Toyotas at Kendall Toyota of Eugene, send off summer with some serious savings and serious fun. Snag $500 in TFS cash and get 1.99% APR on a new 2026 Toyota Tacoma SR5 Double Cab. Looking to step up to a Tundra? Get low 2.99% APR available for 72 months on all new 2026 Toyota Tundra models. Or put your Toyota customer cash to work for $1,000 off TSRP. And that even includes the super popular Toyota Tundra hybrid models. Get in on the summer savings and stop by Kendall Toyota of Eugene today. Kendall, let's start something great.
2.99% APR for 72 months with $1,519 for $1,000 borrowed. Must qualify and finance with Toyota Financial Services. All financing on approved credit, not all customers will qualify. Credit score of 720 or higher may be required to qualify. Price does not include title registration tax or $250 admin fee. Subject to prior sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 8/3/26.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Ah, summer. The sun, the sand. How could things be any better? Actually, you know what sounds kind of good? Chicken bones. Yeah, that would make things better. All you could eat wings for $27.95 and dollar beers from Cold Fire Cold Store? That would really make things better. Ooh, and the sauces. The sauces are to die for. In fact, now I'm kind of hungry. Ah, man, bones.
Make no bones about it, Chicken Bones has the best wings in Lane County. All-you-can-eat wings, great sauces, and awesome burgers. Open daily at 11 a.m. on Pioneer Parkway in the Safeway Center. Check us out on Facebook or call 541-726-0111. That's 541-726-0111. Chicken Bones, chicken with an attitude.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinic step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Open phones for the rest of the program for you at the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-343-5673. Call us up. Blaze is there waiting for you in the studio. Keep him busy. Keep him awake. It's Fox Sports Newport. It's the Sports Animal in Eugene. This is The Drive. I'm Danny. Right over there is Justin. Blaze and Dom in the producing studio. So, three-point shooting contest. WNBA. Apparently, there was some mail lost. They didn't know what Sabrina Ionescu's address was because they didn't send her an invite. Now, Bridget Carlton of the Portland Fire and Caitlin Clark apparently said she She got an invitation and said no. Now, this has been kind of a precedent for. She's been asked now. She said no for. Was it back in 2024?
She was injured for one of the. Maybe it was 25. Maybe it was 24. Yeah,
I think it was 24. She got hurt.
Her first year, she was injured during the All-Star break, I believe.
Okay, but I think if you go back and take a look at some of the notes I wrote down, it was hectic because it was her first season and she didn't want to have a distraction as well. But she was. I think she was hurt. She just didn't want to admit it.
She's still getting beat up every game.
Well, does she bring some of that on herself though?
I think like 25% of it. I legitimately think the league hates her. I'm serious.
Okay, we're not going to devolve this conversation into if the league hates Caitlin Clark.
Hate is a super strong word.
Okay.
But there is a lot of contention with Caitlin Clark.
That's a better word. Okay, but another topic.
All right.
Okay, for another day.
I think this is involving this though.
Okay, so why would you not have one of the poster faces for the WNBA in Sabs going at it in a three-point contest? Well, I don't understand that at all.
Especially the idea that she is known as one of the best three-point shooters, right? And they had that Steph Curry versus her
that was
thing.
awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah, exactly. And she gave him a run for his money. I think that it's a total mistake not to have her, especially if you're just not even going to invite her. That's the thing. She said, I can't decline an offer I never got officially invited to.
Yeah.
So was pretty surprised to see that. Never got invited.
I don't know. I'm just saying, there's some tomfoolery going on in the background, and it's not a good look for the WNBA at all.
Yeah. I think that the totality of what's going on in the WNBA kind of speaks to some bigger problems that are behind the scenes. It's just like little things like this, right? You're not going to get everything. You're not going to get all the information about what's going on behind the scenes of a sports league. But some of the things that come out and the way things are handled and the lack of communication just seems like it's odd. It just seems like the leadership at the top. I mean, you've been
Kathy Engelbert, by the way. Let's call her. What is she? Took the office in 2019.
Dan, you've managed people before. You know how to run a group of people. It just doesn't seem like there's the proper cohesiveness right now with the WNBA. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. And I think especially for the WNBA because they've had now a couple of opportunities with Sabrina, with Caitlin, and others to really lift up all of women's sports because there was an upsurge. I mean, there was a point at one point in March Madness, there were some women's games that were outranking men's games in viewership, and ticket sales were blasting. I mean, we saw some of that here.
Watch TV, absolutely.
We saw some of that here in Eugene.
Yes,
and women's games
I think
it
started with Sabrina a little bit, honestly.
It did, but that's why it just befuddles me that the WNBA isn't celebrating Kathy Engelbert and the rest of them are not celebrating somebody like Sabrina. And yes, well, listen, we have some bias here. All right, because for her being here at the University of Oregon and such a great ambassador for the game, and she keeps coming back to this community and assisting in small ways that aren't being recognized, in big ways that aren't being recognized. It's not about herself. Every time she has an opportunity to come back to Eugene, Sabrina does. Okay,
yeah.
So
we were there. What was it last year? Right
when she came out in the
with the Liberty.
Oh yeah, we watched the exhibition game.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, but she's come back several times on that. But I think you're absolutely correct. This is being bungled at the highest level, and it is negatively affecting the image of the WNBA overall, and that falls squarely on the shoulders of the commissioner. You are the boss.
Can I make the argument that it's not being bungled? It's already been bungled, and can I explain why?
Sure.
I think that there, like you said, when and what she was doing, but then I think that what happened to Sabrina got a little bit derailed because of COVID. But I don't think that's necessarily where things went astray for the WNBA. But what you had was it felt like, in my lifetime at least, the first huge college basketball star on the women's side. And I'm not saying there haven't been stars before, but I'm talking about, like, you talk about the top 5 names in athletics, and Caitlin Clark was absolutely one of those names. And, of course, as well, the Angel Reese part of it was there as well as the riot. And I think one of the issues has been that Angel Reese is a fairly good player, but not a star, and she never was going to be a star. She's a very totally divisive as well, and so she was never going to be somebody that was going to push forward the WNBA.
And to be the poster child.
They put even the news with the season. There's 4 guys at the top, and everybody knows there's 4 guys, and all these guys are going to be the ones you want to watch. And blah, 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 blah. We know everything about the stars in the NBA, and they push them constantly. And I feel like there was this moment in women's sports, it's not even just in college basketball on the women's side, WNBA. I think what they kind of did was this sort of, well, kind of do what we need to do, and she can kind of ingrain herself in her space, but not give her that, let her just accelerate this game. I think there was this moment of if it was possible to have the interest in the WNBA completely skyrocket, and I just don't think it happened. And I might think it's too late.
Okay,
I'm done.
Are you sure?
You can say the number now.
541-343-5673. That's the. I agree with the theory that the opportunity has been to recreate a Caitlin Clark coming out of college, almost lifting the entire year, and you haven't rode the wave.
Can I make another? I don't know if this is a hot take.
Fun.
I'd love to
join in on this. 541-343-5673. That's the Oregon Man Clinic.
That's not necessarily
So
WNBA's
you
fault.
wanted her in New York or in LA?
I would think would have helped.
Well, it couldn't have hurt.
No.
But you can't manipulate everything like that.
That's not a criticism of
no. I know it's not.
it.
I know it's not. Wasn't playing
from anywhere. You mean?
Well, from anywhere,
or
with
anywhere.
Right. I mean, Larry Bird went to the iconic franchises of all time in Boston.
LeBron has been in Cleveland for a lot of his career. I get it.
LeBron got drafted in Cleveland.
Where did LeBron go, though?
Didn't hurt him. Okay, but it didn't hurt him.
He went to Miami. He went to LA.
Okay, but it didn't. Cleveland.
Absolutely, but he was also from Cleveland, so I think that was a little bit of a get out of jail free card because they could kind of sell the hometown kid thing. And what is the connection between Indiana and Caitlin Clark besides the fact that she got drafted there? Not much. I mean, she's in the Midwest.
But they could have. Opportunity after opportunity after how many more chances is the WNBA going to get to put themselves front and center in somebody's mind? I mean, they're blowing it right now with the 3-point. And the thing people are talking about more is that Sabrina and Caitlin aren't going to be in the 3-point contest than the people who are in the 3-point contest.
It's more of a story around the thing than the actual thing is going to be, and that
Engelbert did not do herself any favor a couple of weeks ago by dissing Dan Patrick. You don't diss Dan Patrick. And maybe there were some questions that Kathy Engelbert did not want to answer because some of these little, you got to face the music sometimes. A leader runs into the storm instead of trying to run away from the storm because it's going to catch up to you. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. The Oregon Mac, on our break, please do 541-343-5673 live for the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. It's the Sports Animal. You're tuned into the drive.
.50 AM, 102.9 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand or what?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you okay?
I'm having a stroke.
Your face looks weird too.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you having a seizure or something?
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear.
I'm having a stroke.
You just need to know the sudden signs. Look for FAST, F-A-S-T, F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, or S, speech difficulty.
Hello? Hello?
FAST. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I feel like if I didn't have anyone to push me, I wouldn't even bother to do it. I got one milestone down the drain, and now I got to work on the next. I see the future is really bright for me. I feel like it doesn't matter the age, as long as you go back and get it done. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
No one gets a diploma alone. You have more support than you realize. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Oh, hi. Do you know what this is the sound of? It's the sound of me getting rewarded for doing my part to prevent wildfires. See, right now I'm getting a big, remarkably heartfelt bear hug from Smokey Bear. Thanks, big guy. And now we're shaking. Okay. First, I made sure there were no low-hanging branches when I set up my campfire. Hey, Smokey, let me down for just a second. I need to make sure everyone can hear this. There we go. Then, when we were packing up to leave, I drowned out my campfire, stirred it, drowned it out again, and then made sure to feel it if it was cold. Oh, Smokey Bear really loves it when you do that, don't you, Smokey? Oh, he lets his hugs do the talking. Visit SmokeyBear.com to learn tips to prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
1050 AM and 102.9 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Sports Animal, the Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-343-5673. Please call in if you want to talk to us. We got just about 17 minutes, or actually more like 10 minutes left in the program, really, because we got to pay some more bills. So thanks for lending us your ears for this last couple of days. We got more coming tomorrow. We've got Landon Tegwall scheduled for us tomorrow. Who else? Do we have anybody else secured for tomorrow yet?
Got Isaac
Streeter. Mustang's
Correct.
going to be
Mustang.
Some things I do remember are the nicknames.
Right. By the way, this is another list where I'd like to go up from 1 rather than down from 10.
Okay, so The Oregon Max hotline at 541-343-5673.
Or 5 or whatever.
The Drive, this is the radio program that you're locked into. We're also on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and we are the Sports Animal in Eugene, and out on the coast, it's Fox Sports Eugene, KNCU. All right, so the 5 most important players on the Ducks football team this season. I don't know, does Vegas want to get in on this as well? I don't know if he does. If he does, Vegas, just hop on in. Not with the camera the way it's pointed right now. So,
sounds like we got a caller.
413-435-673. You're locked into the Drive. Hello.
Hey, it's Gator. How you doing, Danny?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fine. Whatever.
Congratulations on the Epic station and the investment that you've made. The show has been awesome, and everybody working hard. It's so awesome to see. I love being a small part of it in my own little way.
5 Oregon football players for this year, the most important players for the Ducks, or at least give me one.
Yeah, I'm going to say Poncho on the offensive line. I feel like his leadership is going to be so important in the only question mark I have for the whole offense. They have so many weapons. It's just, is Dante going to have enough time?
That's fair. Okay.
I like it. I love that answer.
Do you have a 1A?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's been talking about that linebacking core, and if Jackson can step up, it's kind of the canned answer, but I think everybody's got it pegged, which is cool because there's
Devin
not
Jackson.
a lot of question marks on this team. We know what's coming back. It's really exciting for the year. I do have a curveball question for you,
Sure.
Danny, and I can submit it another way, but
No, it's
I'd
all right.
love to know your answer.
Sure. Go ahead. I'm ready.
Okay, the best job in sports. I've given this a lot of thought, and my vote is bullpen catcher.
Oh, so you're no pressure.
No pressure. You make the league minimum. You work about 20 minutes a night. You're basically in the best seats in the house, and you get to be in the clubhouse, which is the most fun place in all of sports, in my opinion. What do you think?
Backup quarterback.
I think it's got to
Ooh.
be.
Yeah, you're wearing a hat, you're carrying a clipboard.
Right.
Nobody's expecting anything out of you when you go in the game.
Right. You're expected to lose, and if you don't, then you're a hero. If you win, you're a hero.
That's like
you just like do your
job because they want that controversy. They want somebody to come in next, right?
That's true, but if you're like a career backup, like a Chase Daniel, right? Then you kind of know, hey, like this guy isn't coming in to start. Like we got a solid backup. Josh McCown, another
Frank
one, right?
Reich. And then Frank Reich had one magical year, and he was able to ride it for the rest of his career.
Right.
Oh, you got to have that magical year, though. Well, congratulations, guys. I appreciate it, and love you guys, and good luck. Keep it going.
Love you back,
Appreciate you,
Gator.
Gator.
Thanks for listening.
All right, bye.
All right, so I think Vegas is going to jump in on this as well. So we got to do this not fairly fast, but we got one more break. We got to get in the top of the hour, boys. All right, so can I just start then? If you're making me do it because I had to go number 1 first, and then down to 5. See, but I don't.
It's in my head, so I'd have to think about it.
Oh, really? So we have to do it the way you have it in your head.
Right. I'd have to count.
I think the
down rather
reveal's
than up.
better if we go to number 1 last. But
All right.
okay, whatever. No,
I
it's
can do it on
fine.
the fly.
No, you can't. I don't want to stress you out. Okay, number 1 for me is Jamari Johnson.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. You know why? Because I think this offense. Listen, your OC. Don't think that they're going to have. I had asked Drew Manager. I said, "Are you going to have like?" He was like, "Well, I don't know. Maybe we could design something." The tight end position is going to be key for Oregon's offense this year. It's going to be absolutely key, and I think for blocking, I'm not saying he has to catch 10 touchdown passes, but in this offense to help clear running backs out, to help protect Dante Moore from a weak side or something, I think Jamari Johnson could be one of the keys for Oregon this
Number
year.
1 guy, then.
Yep.
Most important guy. The season is made or broken by Jamari Johnson.
Are you gonna? What now? You're gonna argue with me?
I'm gonna say it's Dante Moore. I think that's kind of the most obvious answer.
I think thank you, Captain Obvious. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
I
don't even have
know.
him. You know what?
Do you think we're wrong? Apparently, you just arguing for Jamari Johnson.
I think the quarterback is the most important position in football, and let alone Dante Moore is
I
arguably
see
the
your
best
point. You
quarterback in
guys,
football.
I think that's to me. Then why are we even doing this list? Because everyone's going to say it's just Dante
2 through 5.
Yeah, exactly.
For 2 through 5. So let's just say, why don't we just say then? Let's
The
give
best players,
the best
the most
players
important players
2 through 5.
besides Dante Moore.
Okay, fine. Who's your number 2, smart Alex? Come on.
Number 2, I'm
Yeah.
going to say Mateo.
I had Evan Stewart.
Really?
Wow,
like to
that's
know
pretty
your
obvious. You know, obviously, it's a wide receiver. So,
That's a kind of a hot take, I think. Actually,
I got Brandon Finney Jr.
I like that. I think he's in my top.
You got to hold
top
down
3 or
that back
4.
end, and he's
Totally
going to
agree.
and he can come up, and he's got to blast some people from that corner position. All right.
This isn't the best players list. Can I tell you who my number?
Okay.
True.
Yeah. Maurice Sugarpine was my most favorite player to call games with. All right. So Fox. So why?
Because I think that the offensive line, like Gator said, is going to be one of the most important factors of this season. And I think we know what we're getting out of Poncho. I don't know what we're getting out of Fox Crater.
All right. So Vegas. It's fine. What's
But
number 3?
For me, my list is kind of all about filling in what the Ducks lost, and one of those, and 2 of those things were, Bryce Betcher and Dylan Thieneman.
Okay.
And my filling in for Dylan Thieneman is another Big Ten transfer. Dylan Thieneman from Purdue went to Oregon.
Yeah.
Hoy Parrish, Minnesota.
Yeah, I got you.
Transferring here. I think he could potentially even be better than Dylan Thieneman.
I like
And
you're
that might
going
be
to that
crazy.
room as well. So I'm with you there. Mine is Bear Alexander, number 3.
Love it. I also have Coy. And then for my 5th, I would go Jamari Johnson there because I love Jamari. I think he's going to be a key for this team.
So you had Coy at 4 and Jamari at 5. Who do you got for 4 and 5?
So
Vegas?
4, I also had Mateo.
Okay.
But 5 is mine that's kind of controversial, and like I said, filling in the spots that the Ducks are missing out on. Bryce Betcher leaves. I think Jerry Mixon is going to take that step up and play. Not obviously, no one can really imitate what Betcher did for the Ducks, but I think Jerry Mixon will take that step up and ultimately help lead the Ducks defense.
I also had Jerry Mixon at 5. But but you guys hadn't mentioned. So I think there needs to be leaders in every room.
Totally.
And so I have my number 4 is Jordan Davison. Because I think that there's going to be Deer Hill, there's a wealth of talent in that running back room, but somebody has to be the leader. Somebody has to be the tip of the spear. And I think after the injury, I think Davison really showed that he can be that guy. And as a sophomore, there's a lot more experience in that room, and I think he is going to be that guy and one of the 5. That's a good discussion. Although you guys,
I think we could have done more on it. I think we could have gotten more into it.
Well, I think we could go.
save it for
I think what we can do is we can start breaking down in the next couple of weeks by position. Obviously, we'll take quarterback out of the mix, but by position, who needs to lead the room?
I think we could
do that.
We could rank a quarterback still.
Oh, would you stop with this already? Oh my goodness gracious! Here we go. One more break, and then top of the hour dad joke coming up shortly. So hang around for a little bit longer on the drive.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Bigfoot, summer's here.
Yep.
Which means everyone is heading outdoors searching for Bigfoot.
Ha, good luck.
Camping?
Yep.
Fishing?
Yep.
River trips?
Yep.
So if someone wants to find Bigfoot this summer, where should they look?
Not telling.
Oh, come on.
Nope.
Fine. What's the one thing that'll bring you out of hiding?
Aw, Foresters.
Big burgers, all-day breakfast, cold drinks, and a patio that's perfect after a day outdoors. Forrester's Bar and Grill. Big portions, big flavor.
Bigfoot approved.
Hi, this is Drew from Dalton Carpet on West 11th in Eugene. Dalton Carpet is family owned and operated and proud to serve you for 30 years. Now more than ever, someone you know is walking on a Dalton floor. Do you have a flooring project? Get your summer off to a new start. Lane County's best selection with hundreds of rolls of carpet and thousands of feet of click-together flooring on display and in stock right now at unbeatable prices. Come see us today at Dalton Carpet, right here on West 11th in Eugene.
Millions of Americans are glued to their TV weekly, watching a sport they love. Come and relive your childhood at A&J Sports Cards. They have a wide variety of sports cards and memorabilia. Eugene's home for collecting is A&J Sports Cards. Whether you're looking for the stars from the past or the present, you'll find them at A&J Sports Cards. They are here to meet your hobby needs. That's A&J Sports Cards, 1478 West 6th Avenue, 541-343-5561.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission. License number TC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debts may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Snakes. Zombies. Sharks. Heights. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of the drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
All right, thanks for being around today, Baby J. Nice show. Good job, Vegas. Let's do our dad joke and then we'll get out of here. Tomorrow on the program, Landon Teckwall can't join us until next week, so we will have a display of guests for you in the 3 hours going from 3 till 6 p.m. on the Drive. Follow us on all the socials, Sports Animal EUG. That's all the socials. All right, what runs all day but never gets tired? What runs all day but never gets tired?
If I had more time.
Water.
Yeah, liquid. It makes sense.
I don't know if that's really a dad joke, though, but okay. It runs all day and never gets tired. It's water. All right, tomorrow on the program, hang out. We're going to have some fun together. The Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-343-5673. For Baby J, for Vegas, for Hawk, I'm Doc. God bless. Be well. Put a smile on your face. Someone else's. They deserve it. So do you. Peace.
SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening